Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the final episode of Waterdeep Anatomy. Cue very sexy, like medical equipment meets sexy times, like
Bow, bow,
intro
bow, bow.
scenes of just high heels mixed with like people wearing gloves and holding scalpels, and then maybe like an something inside a styrofoam box, something like that. But you know what's even more exciting? The fact that all of you are here today to finally see what our clerics are up to. I am your wonderful game mistress, Michelle Rapp. Um, and with me today are my collection of clerics. Say hello, collection of clerics, to steal from Dimension 20. And let's
Hi.
and so I will be playing everyone else, and we've got a packed show today, so let's get to it. Let's go ahead and just go around and everyone introduce yourselves. Jay, who are you playing?
Me first. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Jay. I use they them pronouns. And today, and as always, but for the last time, I am playing Dr. Zenith Parr, who uses ze, they, and he pronouns. And I'm a neurosurgeon.
Yeah, not just any neurosurgeon, the best goddamn neurosurgeon on the material
Best
plane.
goddamn doctor
Best
in this hospital.
goddamn
Break!
Speaking of amazing doctors, let's go over to Natalie. Who are you playing? What are you
Hi,
doing?
everyone. I'm Natalie Putum from Charm Person Games, and I will be playing ER Doctor, Gnome Tempest Cleric, Dr. Stormy Stumbleduck.
Also ambulatory, I guess, what do you call them? The recharging packs?
Defibrillator.
Yes,
Yes,
you are an ambulatory defibrillator, thanks to
am.
your
Yes.
Tempest domain.
Mhm.
And also the best goddamn doctor. I'll just keep going. Okay. Hi, Minnie. What's up? Who you
Hey,
playing?
everybody. My name is Minnie Salcedo. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Dr. Lyra Sonito, ortho, surgeon, and prosthetics god? Question mark? Forge cleric, baby.
Yeah. And also
Oh,
you're a half Goliath, half
orc.
orc. Yeah. Heck. You're very large. You're very very capable, large, and very loving. It's wonderful. Yay. Next, Samaro, what's up? Who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Samara. I'm playing Dr. Rowan Verglass, an Eladrin trauma surgeon. My pronouns and Dr. Rowan's are she, her.
And who is Dr. Rowan?
Dr. Rowan is a trauma surgeon.
Oh, right. Right. And you are an elf. You've
I
been
am an
doing
elf.
this for a long time.
Long time, baby.
Too long. Maybe too long. You've seen
Time
things.
to get out of the game.
I forgot to say, I'm also an elf. I am an astral elf.
Fantastic. Last but not least, speaking of having seen too many, or maybe too many things, we have Shears. Who are you playing?
Hello, everyone. My name is Shears, and I am playing Nisha Smallwood. Words are hard. CPC CBB CPB. My pronouns are they them, and Nisha's pronouns are she they.
Amazing. So, for a point of collective inspiration, would love to hear what happened last time on Waterdeep Academy. Oh, I see someone has notes. All right.
Actually,
for it.
our show is called Waterdeep Anatomy, not
Thank you,
Academy.
Waterdeep Anatomy podcast. Sorry, misspoke.
We're
Thank
finally
you.
not interns.
Yeah. Let's see what happened last episode. I am looking at my notes for the first time since last episode. I did brain surgery.
You did.
I did surgery on a brain.
Whose
Myself.
brain?
On Flannery's brain, the beloved falafel guy, whom some people have a little bit of a crush on. We did a biopsy to determine if the mysterious disease that is slowly turning his flesh into metal, where it might be coming from. And we learned a whole bunch of doctor stuff. The the metal is progressing into Flannery's brain via his nervous system and is turning all of the bits of him slowly into metal via transfiguration. We have figured out it's also some kind of curse. We also discovered the mysterious smell of cinnamon scented oil. And also, interestingly enough, a nurse in this hospital named Dorothy Terra, who also coincidentally was smelling like cinnamon earlier that day. There's also something about electrical currents running through the body. But skip ahead. There is this curse, and it was caused by these essential oils, we think, that Miss Dorothy Terra and others have been selling in a little bit of a wee bit of a pyramid scam, a lovely MLM, which means multi-level marketing, not men loving men.
Men loving men.
To clarify for our lovely listeners out there.
Totally not a cult.
Yeah, totally not a cult at all. At the end of the episode, Nisha Smallwood goes to visit the noblewoman whose name I don't think I wrote down, but she seems to be the uplink or whatever they're called, the higher
upline?
hun, the upline. She's the upline for Miss Dorothy Terra or doTERRA. You get it? Haha. Anyway, that's basically what happened last episode. What else? Zenith Parr and Nisha Smallwood, it was revealed that we have a little book club going in the Diamond Closet. We're reading trashy romance novels together in secret. And there was some other stuff that happened, but that is like the main gist of things. Did I miss anything super important, everyone?
I mean, stuff happened to Dr. Verglas.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just
Would you like to
some
explain
stuff.
some stuff?
My not wife didn't leave me, but did
The head of
physically
pediatrics
leave
for this
me.
hospital. Yeah.
Yeah, my head of peds partner, who I'm in a long-term committed relationship with, left for reasons having to do with a previous marriage, and perhaps took some children's medication with her to go adventuring off somewhere and is going to miss the prom. And my consolation prize was a kitten.
A kitten.
She did leave a cute little kitten with you. And yeah, left you kind of stunned and heartbroken on the ledge as Dr. Lyra Sanita tried to figure out, ooh, what's going on with the hot gossip beads?
I want the hot goss. So Lyra texted an old friends with benefits who happened to be in peds to get the other side of that story, and found out that perhaps there might be some adventuring going on.
Which I don't think Dr. Verglas knows. I think all Dr. Verglas knows is my partner referenced an old marriage and then said she was going to leave for an undetermined amount of time. And wrote sort of a Dear John letter is how it read to Dr. Verglas.
Yeah.
Rowan, I think, thinks that she's been broken up with via a letter.
No!
And a kitten.
And again, a letter sent by an elevator bard.
Well, to be fair, the elevator bard is like stuck always in the elevator because that is in fact his job. But that's a fantastic recap altogether. One collective point of inspiration to all of you. Excellent. And with that, let's go ahead and start our next episode of season 1 of Waterdeep Anatomy. Again, cue theme music. Do 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 do. something like I don't know, like something by the frame, most likely. Anyway, so as
How to
we
save a
how's
life.
life? Where did I go wrong? Uh, so this episode opens a mere 30 to 40 minutes after the last episode ended. We are in medias res. Not doctor, but billing department champion Nisha Smallwood is currently returning to the diagnostics tower with one Joanne Terra, one of the heads of the noble houses, who appears to be perhaps the mastermind behind this mysterious illness that has been plaguing the various vendors who cater to Waterdeep General Hospital, a medical institution that has been around for over 500 years. Um, in the meantime, I think Dr. Verglas is still at this point has taken the kitten to their room. And the kitten just keeps following you though, and the kitten, yeah, it's very, very cute. But meanwhile, the rest of you are still trying to figure out what is going on. And as the camera sort of pans over the diagnostics tower, slowly resting quickly upon the two figures on horseback with a ton of weaponry. A disembodied feminine voice starts to speak. One of the hardest things in life you'll have to deal with is uncertainty. And when you're in the medical field, it's one of the worst things you have to pretend you don't experience. It lurks in the corner of the room as you reassure a patient that you absolutely have everything in hand. It hovers over you as you cut into someone's body, making you question, if only for a moment, whether you know what you're doing. And in your darkest hours, it can throw your life absolutely upside down in ways you never expected. So, behind the white lab coats, the surgical mask, the scrubs, and the magic spells, there's always a quiet personal battle being fought. On one side, it's our deepest fears, and on the other, our knowledge, wisdom, and competence. And every day we hope our better self wins. The camera then pans to a scene of basically, yeah, Dr. Rowan, you are currently in your office slash like dorm room essentially with this kitten. And it's like this beautiful brindled black tabby. And it just keeps coming up to you and pawing at you and meowing at you and doing the thing where it's fluffling on its back, showing you its belly. And how are you feeling? Where are you at the moment?
I think that Dr. Rowan, I am sitting at a desk with the kitten on the desk. And there's been a lot of like the kitten is staring at me cutely and I'm staring at the kitten trying to figure out its deal. and very poorly hiding my feelings. The letter sits in a wastebasket beside me. And I eventually do pick up the kitten and hold it and scratch its belly.
It purrs and then winds around your hands and under your chin and snuggles into your lab coat, almost just placing itself into the pocket, the breast pocket of your lab coat, and basically just does that cute thing where it just curls up in a little ball right there. So you feel this little warm purring presence in your pocket. At which point you do hear a knock at the door, and the mind flayer doctor from before, Dr. Drizadol, says, cyclically projects into your mind, "Hello, Dr. Verglas, are you doing all right?"
I'm perfectly fine. How can I help you, doctor?
Make a deception. Make a deception roll for me.
Perfectly fine.
I'm fine. This is fine.
Imagine a brick wall. Imagine a brick wall.
Oh, good. It's a 3.
You turn around and your face is like streaked Does Dr. Verglas wear makeup at all?
No.
Or okay. So it's like it's like when you look at a soap opera actress and it's clear that they don't want to mess up the eye makeup, so they like drip little saline drops down their
Mhm.
face. That's basically what you've got going on right now. And Dr. Drizzle actually like steps back a little bit and says, if you I guess I can just come back to you later. I just got a ping from the ER and it says that everyone here needs to head over because there's been another case.
A third.
A third case. Are you familiar with Patrick, the Donut Man?
I'm familiar with Patrick the Donut Man.
Well, he's being brought in.
All of our vendors are going down. What's next?
Not the cute old gnome man who like he's got the popsicle cart. Oh god, I can't.
Oh, the popsicle cart.
The popsicle cart. I can't. Normally they say I'm supposed to only really eat brains, but every now and then I grab myself a pineapple popsicle and it's just the best thing.
Well, how can you resist the flavors? The pineapple is wonderful. Mango.
Oh, so
Incredible.
good. But yes, before we get going, yes, I'm just letting all of your colleagues know we need to get down to the ER. In fact, I think they're wheeling him over now. So if we just meet them at the bottom of the elevator, we can go ahead and try to get a head start on whatever is going on there.
Good. Wonderful. I just need I just need a minute. I'll
just
be
need a
there
minute.
shortly.
Yep.
Yep.
Just need a minute.
Just a
yep.
minute.
Do you need anything? Can I get you?
Nope. I'm fine. It's
okay,
fine. I'm
great.
fine. Why?
Nothing. I'm just very awkwardly this mind flayer, this 7-8 foot tall mind flayer, just like very awkwardly closes the door behind him.
I go and try and attempt to clean myself up poorly before I go.
I imagine that Lyra is probably nearby. Right?
Yes, actually, I was going
Like,
to ask if Lyra can try and find them.
Lyra and Dr. Stumbleduck, are you also like nearby trying to suss out what's going on?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
Dr.
the two of you
Stumbleduck
are like
loves
lurking in the
gossip.
hallway.
Yeah.
Perfect. I want to say we're like right around the corner from the office.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Are you like trying to hide from Dr. Drizzle? Or
kind of, yeah, but I'm sure like my shoulder's peeking out.
okay,
like
why
my
don't both of
7'2"
you
shoulder.
roll stealth for me to see if you can. This
Okay.
is looking for everyone, trying to tell them that Patrick, the Donut Man, is in a bit of a pickle.
Well, I rolled a 1, so
Okay.
that's a 4 total.
Oh, okay, I got it. I rolled.
Okay,
What's
so-
with all these shit rolls, y'all?
You gotta get him out of the way. Get him out now.
Get him out now.
No,
You-
we didn't roll dice before the game. We forgot to do that.
Clearly,
You forgot to do that.
So, Dr. Drizzle just like closes the door, and his tentacles are just his like face tentacles are kind of like just awkwardly trying. This is like awkward tentacle action happening as he's feeling very uncomfortable with chatting with Dr. Verglas. And he turns around and sees the both of you. He's like, oh, I see the two. Oh, Dr. Stumbleduck, Dr. Sonito, I was looking for the two of you. We actually have another case coming in. If we can go ahead and assemble by the elevator, take it down, we're going to go ahead and try to, because I don't know if you were heard, but Patrick the Donut Man, he has been he has
Not
been
the
exhibiting
donuts.
symptoms. Yes, unfortunately,
Man,
donuts.
the donut
Yeah,
man. That's the real concern.
Yes.
Life.
Beignet Friday seems to be canceled.
No, not donuts and doctors.
Donuts and I'm afraid we're going to be canceling this week's Donuts and Doctors. But
okay.
this
You
is why
find
it's
the
so
person
important to try to
responsible
save his
for this.
life.
They've taken so much from me.
First, the
Lyra
falafel.
like puts her hand like down on your
Uh-huh.
shoulder. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna get Flannery and doctors and donuts back.
Okay.
Are we all
And-
heading down to the ER?
Yeah, so the idea is like you all go to the elevator and that you're assembling by the elevator, you're all gonna head in, and then you're gonna head over to the ER and try to assess what's going on. And Dr. Parr, you do get a respectful knock at your door, and this time Dr. Drizzle has managed to compose himself, and so he's like, Dr. Parr, we have another case. It's Patrick the Donut Man. We're being asked to go over to the ER immediately.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes. Is there anything that you would require?
No. Thank you.
All right. Your vermling Cirrus like tries to offer a really bad penis looking foam art to Dr. Drizzle. And Dr. Drizzle just says, "Oh no, it's fine. I don't drink caffeine, but I do appreciate it." And your vermling just kind of puts it down next to a couple of other cups where they're trying to practice their foam art.
Is it getting better at least?
Roll for me.
Me roll? Okay.
Yeah, it's they're your wormling.
Okay. What do I roll with?
Roll performance.
Performance. Nat 1. No.
Yeah, that
absolutely
is
not.
a full on piece of genitalia. It's actually
It's actually getting more
amazing.
detailed.
It's
getting
actually more detailed. It's like maybe this is their calling. Like
No. I was rolling. I don't know if y'all saw I was rolling, and I had rolled 2 other nat ones while I was just rolling to get the bad rolls out, but I guess I didn't roll enough.
Well, be glad it's just for latte art.
Yeah, true.
So what happens is so all of you congregate by the elevator. The elevator
I would like
opens.
to take I would like to take that dick coffee and just down it really quickly.
Okay,
and
cool.
Join everyone else.
Absolutely. You down that dick coffee. It's mostly just foam, honestly. There's not very much liquid. They're just practicing their foam art. There's not a lot of caffeine in there.
Luckily, I
yeah.
don't need to sleep, so I drink it for the aesthetic.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume Dr. Parr is too elegant to have foam on their face when they leave.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
yes,
there's no way.
I'm not about that. No.
Yeah, your Cirrus is quite happy that you finished that particular cup, though.
That's why I'm the last person to arrive to the elevator, because I take time to down this coffee and wipe my face and leave.
Pristine. So yeah,
Yes.
Dr. Verglas, I don't know if any of you want to make insight rolls into how Dr. Verglas is doing.
How do you look?
Yeah, how do you look? Do you want to roll for that?
I rolled a 3 before, and I have a -1 charisma, so not great. I think Dr. Verglas comes out of her office, and the tears that Dr. Druzadil saw are gone, but I am an Eladrin elf and take the aspect of winter on, and so I'm usually very pale. My hair is very light. My eyes are very light. But rather than like the usual pale complexion, there's like really very attractively placed, because we're all hot doctors, red splotches like on my face. Like clearly either I've been crying or I've been doing something out of the ordinary.
Given that you and I have a little bit of a history, I think I would notice. I think I would notice that you at least look a bit worse for wear. And so as I arrive late to our little congregation, I'm just gonna stand next to you. And I'm gonna lean over and just say, Dr. Verglas, are you doing all right?
That seems to be a common question this afternoon. I'm fine. We're on our way to a consultation. I don't see anything special about that. And you can see, without even rolling for it, almost like the closest emotion you can identify, like panic behind her eyes.
And I think like as we're getting into the elevator, or are we still waiting?
The elevator arrives, opens up. The elevator bard is there. The elevator bard looks at all of you and immediately puts down his loot.
Beat him up. Commit acts of violence.
It's just
But yeah, as we all kind of like file in, I think I just like, if us two are like the last two in, I'm just going to, before we get in, just look at you and say really softly, like, let's focus on the work now and we can deal with this later.
Of course, it's always about the work. Doctor.
And we get in.
doctor.
This is a very healthy friendship.
It is.
So I'm gonna say I did roll for the insight. I rolled like a 23.
Holy crap.
So
okay.
I'm gonna
See
say
it all.
that whole conversation happened between them interpersonally, while like Lyra and Stormy got into the elevator first. And then I think if that's okay with everyone with my 23, that maybe I heard the just focus on the work
Yeah,
whisper.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So then the elevator closes and starts going down, and we're sitting all there in awkward silence. And Stormy probably notices that Lyra's like twitching, is like squirming with herself, and is like, so I know we just said we're going to focus on the work, but it's not about you, Dr. Verglas. She didn't leave because of you.
Do I want to ask why you know anything?
Resident trying to help her attending.
And where is your information coming from?
Directly from the pediatric ward.
Ah. And you, with your 23, I know exactly who and why you know this information.
Yeah, I'm sure you've caught me with this person a couple times.
Yeah.
Diamond supply cost cough.
Yeah, diamonds. Yeah.
In the meantime, the elevator bard is just sitting on his little stool. Like they're just like
Par's face is also just like watching this like a ping pong match, because I didn't have any of that background information. So
She
just like,
terrible.
And
yeah.
I think Stormy like butts in and is like, so what do you name the kitten?
Kitten. What kitten?
I look down. Is the kitten's head out of my pocket, or is it still hidden? And all of this, like even
It's
the
hidden.
kitten has now spread.
The kitten is in your pocket and is still sleeping.
I don't know why I would even begin to think that this would have stayed quiet and not spread to all of you.
And as you say that, you
Elaine.
hear like a turns over.
Elaine left on business. And that's all I need to know.
I don't mean any disrespect, Rowan. It's just... And she kind of like glances at Stormy and then glances back at you. We all need to like be fully aware of what we're doing. And I was just worried that your thoughts could be on this. So I just wanted to say that there's being away on business and there's being away on business. And one is a choice and the other is not. And I think this was more of a mission.
Perhaps. I had a long life before I met Elaine and have done many things out of this hospital. And Elaine had her life and her people. and has her responsibility towards them, just as I have a responsibility toward our patients.
Speaking of which, the doors. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Par says, speaking of which, like, and then asks one of you for the rundown of what was going on.
Yeah. I guess if you want to, oh, sorry. Just to be clear, do you want to like make sure everyone's on the same page versus read the like drama, or shall I continue the scene and then phase to a different scene?
Oh, I was just saying that because I think Par wants to refocus the conversation back on
Gotcha.
the work,
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
and as the elevator opens and as we
Yeah.
start walking down the hallway, I think he's immediately back to business, trying to like focus the conversation back on this patient.
So it's actually funny. You don't need to even get down into the hallway. The doors open and you see beloved. He's basically like it's funny because he's almost like a tree folk, kind of like a tight, like a very small ent. By ent, I mean like small as in ents are typically like 20-30 feet tall. This ent is only about like 6 feet. He's like a bonsai ent for all intents and purposes. And he's on a gurney. He's hooked up to an ivy full of like tree sap, like blessed tree sap. And he's got a couple of orderlies are with him, and they're like, "Oh, thank God, doctors. Okay, here you go. He actually really needs to go into surgery immediately. They said that you had figured out a possible solution, a possible cure. Um, a word in the ER said you managed that. So, if you can manage that, we're just gonna go ahead and hand over this to you." And Patrick's just like passed out, like this like old, and he most resembles like a birch tree. He's just like, "Meh." um
That's a great sound effect.
Does he have any, like, so he's a tree. Has
Yeah, he's
any of his
tree.
bark turned to metal?
Yes, in fact, you see that his entire right shoulder, well, that's my left shoulder. His right shoulder, has turned into metal and is sort of spreading downwards and inwards. But yeah, he's not looking great for a tree person. And the orderlies include Nurse Gronslor Jacobs, the orcish nurse, who says, looks all he says, "You're the best goddamn doctors in this whole hospital. If anyone can save donuts with doctors, it's you. We can't have donuts with doctors without Patrick." It bursts into tears.
Shall we go scrub?
It's a beautiful day to try an experimental treatment in my trauma unit.
So yeah, you go ahead and bring this guy into the elevator, and it's a little cramped in here by now. You've got a bunch of doctors and doctor, and then of course Nurse Gronslor comes with you because he's been appropriate. Nurse Gronslor, did you bring Peachtree at all?
Sure. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so Dr. Peachtree is
I paged Petrie.
okay. So Peachtree is supposed to meet you at the top, or is Peachtree has been in the elevator the whole time?
Meet us here.
Okay, great. So, with that, you bring this this very, very sick tree person into the elevator, and the elevator begins to ascend again. We're going to cut away, haha, to
Good
I'm a
one.
terrible person.
Wow.
Yeah.
How dare
Um,
you ruin our completely serious show with these puns?
I know. In the meantime, we cut away to this small little procession. It's honestly, it wouldn't have been such an eye-catching scene if there weren't how many pieces of weaponry did you bring with you, Miss Smallwood?
Okay, so I brought Lucille. I brought Betsy. I brought 2 artillery cannons, a frying pan for good measure, a wood paddle just for kicks, and I also brought like 20 feet of hemp rope in case if anybody tries to be smart. I also have 2 knives, a smaller crossbow that does not have a name, um, and the fantasy equivalent of a Louisville Slugger if I get really pissed off.
Gotcha. Okay. Sounds entirely reasonable. So, you are heading back to the diagnostics tower with a Joanne Terra, a beautiful blonde haired, blue eyed elven woman, um, stunning cheekbones. And she is dressed in these incredibly like elegantly cut, sort of a dusty rose dress, as she very like professional, almost like very professionally just like heads back with you. Um, and after, are you speaking at all to her, or are you just like, I'm on the job, gonna bring you back, gonna do the
I
thing?
may have threatened the rope whenever she tried to sell me shit. And
Yeah,
at one point I say, I'm the reason why the billing department doesn't have any of you bitches in my department. So you're going to shut up, you're going to stay on that mule, and you're going to keep your hands where I can see them. Otherwise, I get Betsy. Is that understood?
perfectly crystal clear, Miss Smallwood.
Now shut up.
After a little while, you do hear in your mind, um, all I'm just trying to do is help.
I said shut up.
Oh, I'm not saying anything. My mouth isn't moving.
At that point, I'm a one-warning person. I'm going to cast Bane on this bitch. And to prove that I am not fucking around, 3rd level.
3rd level?
A 3rd level.
Okay. Let me take a look.
And that has a DC of 13.
All right, let me roll for that. That was cocked. Um, she looks at you really impassively. Like that was super cute.
I don't cast spells very often.
She looks at you sympathetically.
Don't give me sympathy. A bolt to the
She
throat,
shrugs.
a bolt to the carotid or artery, and a slash to the femoral will do the job just as fine.
She shrugs her shoulders and continues making riding this mule look really good.
Out of spite, I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy again. And spook the mule.
Okay.
You mess with my head one more time, I pull out Betsy, and I'm in full right of, and she gives like the full spiel of hospital code and Waterdeep legal code because you don't fuck with a biller, and you don't go into their mind without their consent.
Roll intimidation with advantage.
Hell yes.
She
Okay,
ran into my knife 10 times.
The middle of the Waterdeep street.
okay, so those were both 13 plus intimidation, you said?
Mhm.
That'd be a 16.
Okay, she looks at you. The mule is definitely spooked and like makes like a and then like cavorts around a little bit in the middle of the street. And she is you can tell she's I mean, she knows horseback riding. Like she is a noble. They do that. I don't know, they've got polo ponies and stuff. So she manages to wrest control. Um she basically manages to gain control over the mule and basically just begins to follow you again and then looks at you with a little bit of admiration.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And she just
And
placidly smiles.
wipe that smile off your face. You're not gonna like when I take you to collections. And moves up forward and messages a couple of folks from her department and alerts collections in case if things go sideways.
Do you let the diagnostics team know what's going on?
With glee.
Okay. All right. So you do that, and then the scene cuts back to the diagnostics team in the elevator. um, I don't know. There isn't really a Yeah, there really isn't like anywhere to like wash your hands in the elevator, but um so yeah, you technically haven't scrubbed up yet. But you all get a ping on your sending stones with the message from Nisha saying like she is coming with what looks like the head of the possible person who created this whole problem. Um which is a thing. Um At which point, Nurse Gronzor says, "Is everything okay? You're all looking at your phone. Is everything okay?"
Everything's perfectly fine, nurse. Nisha's on her way back with exactly who we need to speak with.
Do we need to call the watch?
Couldn't hurt to have extra precautions.
Dr. Parr, Dr. Stumbleduck, how do you feel about calling the watch? The city watch.
Whoever's responsible for this has committed a crime of the highest order. First, my boyfriend, then donuts with doctors.
Dr.
Go ahead.
Parr has just been standing here, sort of listening to everyone. This isn't really their expertise, weapons, fighting, all this stuff. And so they are just letting the rest of you make this decision.
Dr. Peachtree. Oh, no, Dr. Peachtree is not there, but I guess Nurse Gronzor says, I don't know, I remember hearing like one of the doctors say, when we had a bunch of crossbow wounds come in that like we weren't here to dispense justice, we were here to save lives. But I guess this is one of the situations where they intersect. Well, I guess I'll call the watch then. And as he says that, the elevator shudders and stops just as it's starting to reach the top floor.
I swear I didn't jump this time.
Dr. Parr just reaches over and like calmly just pushes the button just to see if anything happens.
Nothing happens.
Okay, and then I push the emergency help button.
The emergency help button does ring, and then about 5 minutes later, you see
5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
5 whole okay.
5 whole minutes later. Yeah, I
Damn.
know, it's not great. No one's proud of this. 5 whole minutes later, you hear a grunt And actually, during those 5 minutes, you were hearing like some kind of like physical something happening above you, and you see the doors to the elevator open, and then there's about an 18-inch gap between the ceiling of the elevator and like at the very like the floor right there of the actual like top floor of the diagnostics tower, and then there's a gap, and you see a very physically exerted Dr. Drizzle look at all of you and say, are you all right? Is everyone okay?
We're fine, just stuck.
Oh no. And then you see a pinkness behind them as Dr. Maven wiggles into view and says through their little speaker, well, I mean, hopefully we should get this done. We should get the doors open and the elevator working again soon. Looks like maybe one of the magical networks gave out and the generator wasn't replaced last year, so we're still looking to get some pixies to get in to help with this. Yes.
I have a question for the GM.
Yes.
And this is a magical physics question, so
Yes.
feel free to interpret as you will. If I were to cast, because we're really close to where we need to be, but not quite, right?
Mm-hmm.
How far away do you think we are?
The elevator is about, gosh, how tall are you? How
Me?
tall are you,
5.
Lara?
Oh,
Lara's like 7'2.5", almost 7'3".
Okay. So this is about a 10-foot tall elevator, and the very top of it is overlapping with I guess the area where the top floor would be by about 18 inches. So it's like an 18-inch gap.
cool. If I were to cast Leomun's tiny hut to intersect with like this entire area, because it's got a radius of 10 feet, theoretically, could we get up there and get out?
Explain to me how that would work.
I don't know. Magic science mumbo jumbo. Let me read the spell again.
Okay.
So it's a 10-foot radius immobile dome of force that springs into existence around you and remains stationary. The spell will end if I leave that area. Up to 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside this dome with me. The spell fails if its area includes a larger creature or more than 9 people. So I hope there's less than 9 of us in this fucking elevator. Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast a spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through
Okay.
it.
So
Blah, blah, blah.
basically what would happen is you'd essentially create like a pocket like dome. Almost like I love Lehman's
It's like a
tiny hut as
sphere,
well.
basically. Like
It's
a
like a
sphere that
sphere.
we can move through the wall to get up there. Kind of.
You can move through the wall kind of, but it's not. I'm going to say no on this one. Not because I
Okay.
don't think it's a bad idea, but because I think of it as a stationary thing. So you would need to figure out how to like get this and the gurney and everything like through that gap, because at the other end of it, there's still just not a lot because it's 10 feet, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, it's still, and it has a 10-foot ceiling, so you're still kind of a little tricky, like kind of stuck in here.
If it's a generator
good thought,
problem, maybe I can help.
Generator is not in the building. It's not in this building at the moment, unless one of you has teleport.
Could I cast Fabricate on the wall next to us to be able to create a set of stairs to get closer to the doors that are locked?
Let me see. Let me look at Fabricate. You convert raw materials into products of the same material, and you can fabricate a wooden bridge from a couple of trees. Has not a bad idea, but I will tell you this. Patrick starts like the pulse monitor that has come with the tree sap starts flatlining. And you see Dr. Drizzle and Dr. Maven at the top say, we need to operate now. We need to operate on his person now.
Clear.
Surgery
We
in
don't
an
have time.
elevator. Let's
We
go.
don't have time to fabricate a wall
Oh.
into a bunch of stairs.
Oh my gosh, are you Ent in an elevator team?
It's an elevator.
All right.
So with that, does anyone remember how to how to end the curse from last time?
it was
We
just,
had
I
to
think,
all do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Directions.
This is
there
true.
was, I think, like
Yeah.
it was something about having like multiple people casting remove curse,
Mhm.
and then other doctor things.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Stormy was going to work with the patient's initial energy that was kind of combating against the curse and kind of boostering that so that they can
Right.
also have their immune system help as well.
Yep.
Amazing. All right. So, you look at each other, and Dr. Maven and Dr. Druzil said, "All right, we're gonna pass down some equipment. We're also gonna pass down some like hand sanitizers and wipes and things, and you're gonna have to. Yeah, do you have enough light in there? Here, let me just help you." And he
I
casts light.
cast.
So like,
Yeah, I have
yeah, we've
We
got
all have light.
we all have light. It's a very well lit
Yeah.
incident elevator situation.
I'd also like to cast unseen servant since we don't have nurses. Our full
You
team of
have
nurses.
one nurse,
We have one
have
nurse,
Uncle.
but they
one
need
nurse,
help.
and one
We need more
intern.
surgical assistance, so I'm going to cast unseen servant.
Amazing. So you've got your unseen servant, you've got Dr. Peachtree, you've got Nurse Gronslorp Jacobs, who looks at all of you and just like is panicking, but looks at all of you and says, we can do this. This is the best team in the goddamn hospital. This is the best goddamn team in the hospital. You've got this. And with that, I'd like all of you to roll initiative.
I need to get new dice. This one's retired.
19.
19 for Dr. Parr.
13.
13 for Dr. For Dr. Stormybrook. Stumbleduck. Sorry, Stormybrook. Sorry, Dr. Stormy Stumbleduck. Excuse me.
The Stumblebrook
7.
family are the next city over. It's a
Oh
different
gosh,
family.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of confusion.
You don't
I
associate
rolled a
with them.
15.
Okay, Dr. Sneedo.
I got a 7.
Okay, Dr. Burglas.
You got a lot on your
and-
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fully committed to the work. Can't you tell?
Also, there's a kitten in the operating elevator.
There is a kitten in the operating elevator.
Oh, that's not
D-
sterile.
Dr. Peachtree is also she's going to be going at 16, and I'm going to be holding Nurse Gronzler as basically like a free help action if y'all ever need something, because you can. Awesome. So with that, sorry, any questions before we head into surgery?
How
right.
is Peachtree looking? How is she? Does she appear to be calm and collected, or is she freaking out? or
Roll
something in
insight.
between?
Anyone who's interested in how Dr. Peachtree is doing, roll
Oh,
insight.
this was really good. I know her really well, I guess. This is over 20, and I can't do math. It's a
Okay.
17 plus 8.
Okay,
Insight.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you read her like your first anatomy book. Super easy. She is quietly freaking out, but keeping it together. Like, she is definitely very aware that you're about to do surgery on an ent in an elevator. It's not sterile. There's a kitten. This is not what she thought her first OR would be.
I see.
But she's also a little excited about it because this is her first OR.
Cool. As we're like squirting the stuff to like hand sanitize our hands, and we're doing like very hasty PPE, all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm just
Dr. Druzil is just passing you like all this equipment, just like little tables to like hold things.
in this already crowded elevator.
It's
Yep,
a very
love this.
crowded elevator.
Love this for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Lyra is just like reaching up and grabbing
Dr.
everything and
Dr.
passing it
Maven, like
around.
you can see like she's like wiggling towards the elevator to try to like help, and then Dr. Drizzle's like, no, there's too many people. You're not gonna be able to fit. You'd start eating people by accident. And Dr. Maven's like, oh, sorry, yes. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and start with Dr. Parr. And just a reminder of how surgery in this world works. You can use your time, because it's basically you can use this this your turn to basically roll perception or basically a medical insight in order to determine what is going on and get the lay of the land. If you choose to make a medicine check, you're going to need that for, or you use medicine or dexterity in order to actually do any kind of manual procedure. You can also, in this situation, use arcane, because there are some situations where you're going to need to tap into your magical abilities in order to help remove this particular growth. So, with that, I'd like to start with Dr. Parr. What would you like to do?
Given all of our I don't know how long we've been doing this research for, but like we kind of understand generally how to treat this now. We just haven't done it yet,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Actually, why don't you roll me a medicine check with advantage to just recall this order of operations in order to get rid of this thing?
Okay. Ooh, okay, that was way better. Plus medicine is 23.
Okay, perfect. You remember that this is a 4-step process.
Okay.
First, you need to turn off the electricity. The
Mhm.
electricity is what is making this grow, and it's what makes this spread. It's attacking the neural networks, which on a tree, I suppose, are the xylem and phloem, and you would need to make sure that it's like unplugging a machine. You need to make sure that you're not going to electrocute yourself before you um, try to mess with it, in a sense. The second thing you do is you need to basically halt the transmutation, because once the electricity goes down, it is slowed, but then you would need to stop it in its place. So you need to halt it. The next thing you need to do is you need to basically lock down the artificery that needs to be reversed. So any metal bits basically need to be kept under control. And kept still. They need to be basically demagified. And then last, the metal needs to be removed physically. Whatever's
Cool.
left. And I'm happy to repeat that for everyone when you need to. And you can definitely assist each other with these particular steps. So yeah, Dr. Parr, you look at this and you get the impression like, okay, it's Dr. Stumbledeck who needs to go first.
Go as in get out?
No, not get out. I mean, like, who needs to turn off the electricity?
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? Okay.
You throw
yeah.
the gnome through the 18-inch gap at the
We
top of the
yeet.
elevator.
We yeet the gnome. Yeah.
When I
Okay.
can help.
Don't let me go. Yeah. So I think I'm going to use my free action to just like basically recount exactly what Michelle just said, but in Dr. Parr's very knowledgeable and commanding leadership tone of voice. And I'm gonna tell Dr. Stormy Stumblebutt Duck to Stumblebutt.
Again, next, they live in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah, we need a cut of like every time your name was mispronounced on this show and just cut it all together. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna use my free action to tell you to do that, and then I'm going to hold my action until after you do that, and then I'm going to work on the halting of this transmutation. So I'm gonna hold my action.
Dr. Peachtree is going to do the same thing, basically hold her action until you go. Dr. Sunito, you would be next in initiative. Would you also like to hold your action?
No, actually, knowing
Okay.
that Stormy is going to have to bring the lightning, I am actually going to cast protection from energy on Patrick. And I'm going to protect him from above table. What do you guys think? Protect him from fire because he is made of wood, so the electricity doesn't catch him on fire, or should I protect him from lightning? But I'm worried that that'll mess with what Stormy has to do.
I think lightning.
I think
Protect-
okay. Roll me nature or medicine, one of you. As Dr. Sunito puts this question to the group.
I'm gonna use my inspiration from doing the recap.
Rowan, you were muted.
Oh, thank you. I got a nat 20 for 28
Oh,
in a medicine
okay.
check.
Hell
All
yeah.
right. Dr. Rowan, you've seen something very similar to this before. If you do protect him from lightning at this point, basically it would just cut off Dr. Stumbleduck's ability to get in there and mess with it. So the actual thought of making it pro lightning, no, pro fire is a really good call, considering your patient is in fact a tree, an old tree.
All right. I let Dr. Sunito know we want to keep him vulnerable to lightning. Fire is a good idea, and if the lightning goes too far, I have something that can help the patient and not the infestation remain
Okay,
less hurt.
Mhm.
perfect. All right. Prepping the patient, and then she proceeds to close her eyes and focus, and then lays her hand over his heart and then over his head, and almost like an ethereal fire starts glowing on her hands, and he is now protected from fire.
Amazing. And now, Dr. Stumbleduck, it's your
Okay.
turn.
All
right.
So do I need to make an Arcana roll to kind of know what I need to do? Like if I'm
Yeah.
needing to cast lightning spell? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me Arcana.
That's a 17.
Okay. What you're going to need to do, and this comes to you fairly easily, is basically just kind of tap into the essence of your Tempest cleric, like what ties you into the storm,
Yeah.
what connection you have to lightning, and then follow that, and basically following your holy lightning, um, down into the xylem and phloem
Okay.
of this ent, and to basically just try to fight that lightning with your lightning, and then just turn that off as soon as you gain dominance.
Okay. So should I do a lightning spell? Should I make
You
a-
can either do a lightning spell, or you can give me basically like a go ahead and give me a lightning spell. That makes sense.
Okay, I'm gonna call
Yeah.
lightning.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just an AoE spell. So that just creates a big lightning storm, and I think I'm trying to like channel it like into me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I
You
need to
all
do
of
an
you
Arcana
see.
to modify it, or
Yeah, go ahead and give me Arcana to modify.
okay,
The DC
I'm
here
gonna
is
use
going to be
my inspiration.
wonderful.
Yes,
The
please
DC
lightning
will
Ben
be
well.
the DC here will be a 20.
Yeah. Okay, that is a 21.
Perfect. Okay. All of you who have hair, feel it kind of start standing on end. Uh and like out of your surgical caps and whatnot. And you see overhead a rather intense but small lightning storm start hovering over Dr. Stumbleduck, who raises her little gnome hand and puts her other hand over Patrick's shoulder, and is able to channel lightning bend, this divine lightning, into his body. And Dr. Stumbleduck, you are the lightning as you course through this tree man's xylem and phloem. You course through this metal. It conducts itself super easily, and you feel this kind of like almost oily, foreign lightning try to like slip past you, but you grab it with divine vengeance and chase it. Like, it's almost like, it's almost like 2 snakes eating each other kind of a situation
Okay.
where you got, like, one lightning snake just eats the other lightning snake, and your lightning snake is like, "Ah, I am dominant." And in that moment, you realize, "Okay, now that I've chased this out, I've defeated this, I can turn off my lightning now, and
Mhm.
that will no longer be a problem."
Cool. And I think I'm gonna kind of look up at Lyra and wink, and I'd like to give Lyra a bardic inspiration, like as I'm
Oh,
channeling this
amazing.
lightning.
I was just gonna say Layra's probably getting really fond feelings of like
Uh-huh.
seeing this happen again. Okay, sweet.
Amazing. So next is Dr. Verglas, and you realize that transmutation it has been slowed, but it needs to stop.
And I remember when we were first working on Flannery, I used remove curse and it did halt the transmutation. That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yes,
I
it
will
did.
do that again here. As soon as Dr. Stumbleduck is clear of the patient and the patient is no longer electrified,
Dr. Stumble steps back.
step back.
You step forward.
I step forward, and then I lay my hand on the patch of Patrick's shoulder that is beginning to turn to metal, and I cast remove curse.
How do you tap into your divine connection in order to make this happen?
I as a grave cleric, I think I see I can see faint connections of people's life threads. And as I lay my hand down on his shoulder, my other hand reaches out and plucks the life thread that I can see that's partially tainted. And I connect it with my own and use my own force to remove whatever curse is beginning to eat away at his life force.
As you cast that spell, your grave domain renders you. It's like that photo negative Galadriel sort of like effect. It's just like you stand before your doctor, but a queen, dark, terrible tonight. And you do manage to halt it in its place. Part of the grave domain is death and life, and death is basically a cessation. So you manage to stop it in its tracks, and as the light. The ethereal light kind of leaves you, and your hair kind of like goes back to normal underneath your surgical cap.
My surgical cap that's flown off.
Yes, has flown off at this point. Yeah, next, there is the artificery does need to be reversed. And as you do that, you just see Nurse Gronzor like crying, just like straight up crying. And with the elevator bard, who is also crying and has been here the whole time.
Damn it, Nurse Jacobs. Pull yourself together.
There's no crying in surgery.
I can't help it. It's so beautiful.
The
You need to
elevator
step
bard.
away. Step away. But there is no place to step away.
He
So
tries
I
to
think
step
just turns
away.
around.
Yeah, he
Face
just
the
turns
wall.
around the corner and faces the
Face
wall.
the wall. So
Both
that we can focus.
both the elevator bard and Nurse Gronzor are like facing the wall. I just hear weeping.
May I use my held action now to work
Yes.
on this removing magic? So would I just also cast remove curse here, or is this a different spell that you think?
Basically what happens is that it needs to be the parts that are metal basically just need to be like reverted somehow back into flesh, or in this case bark. That might not necessarily be something that you have in your repertoire.
Okay.
But it might be something that Dr. Sunito, who has experience with metal,
Gotcha.
might be able
Okay,
to
then
do.
I will continue holding my action then.
Gotcha. And if with that, I'm gonna breeze past Dr. Parr and then Dr. Peachtree, who is currently she's been just calling out like, all right, at the point you keep at the I guess at that point Dr. Verglis is able to stop the transmutation. She does call out, all right, we're starting to get a little bit of something here, and you see a little bit of like a boop, boop, boop on the pulse monitor.
Is the little like pulse like a sapling?
Yeah, it's a
sapling.
sapling. It's a sapling. It's like a little Totoro thing where like the little seedlings like come up. Sapling. Like Pikmin coming out of the ground. But yeah, she's gonna hold her action, and Dr. Sunio, you're up.
Okay, so kind of a weird thought process of how to use this spell, if you would let me. I thought would either be using heat metal, but using it to kind of like scrape away the metal and to make it like metal into my hands because I'm heating it up and then moving it off of the skin.
That could work.
Because basically I'm seeing it as like another toxin, so to like remove it from the skin and get it off the body.
The tricky thing about that is that part of the bark and his actual body has turned into metal. So you
Right,
would
okay.
be removing quite a large mass.
Okay.
Look at
So
your spell list. Do you have like any divine like it's not a intervention precisely, but do you have anything that calls out to your god?
I thought I did. Oh no. Oh well. No, I thought I did. It's not on here for some reason. Oh boo. The only thing I'm seeing is like searing smite, but like I don't necessarily want to smite him.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Why don't you roll me a religion
Okay.
with advantage? Because what I'm gonna suggest you do is you pray.
Fair.
Oh
Okay.
Lord, heal this tree.
And
I'm
remember,
gonna
you have
use my
bardic
inspiration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have bardic inspiration too.
Perfect. I'll use the inspiration, and then if not, I'll use the bardic on top of it. Okay. No. So it was religion.
Mm-hmm. It's plus 3.
That is a 22.
You describe to me how you're praying and how it manages to start reverting this metal back to flesh.
I think Lyra steps forward, and by step forward, we're all cramped in here, so she shuffles forward a little bit. And
it's more
kind
like
of
you're
like,
there and then people just sort of go around you.
yeah, more or less. So she kind of just like leans down a little bit and places like her fingertips on the edges that she can see of the metal to kind of like almost physically try to stop it, though she knows that that's not going to happen. And she starts kind of murmuring to herself, and it almost like gold radiance starts coming from like the back of her head and kind of starts doing like a halo effect as she's just murmuring, I don't quite know how to say what I'm feeling. From creation comes life, and from life comes more creation, but this is not that. And she begins to just start praying that way.
Amazing. All of you see a warm glow come from Dr. Snea's hands, and it's like the warm glow of fire. It's a comforting crackling warmth, like the kind you would get as you sip cocoa on like a nice soft rug, curled up with like a book or with another really fun another comfortable companion, wrapped in something soft. And before your eyes, you see something like embers start to drift from your hand as it lands upon the metal like little fireflies. And then slowly you begin to see the metal begin to shrink and shrink until it is just about a 3 by 4 inch patch. And you see that it stops and it becomes basically kind of like a 3 by 4 inch patch, like a perfectly rectangular patch on his shoulder.
And I think she kind of like gives a big like heave, and you can kind of tell that that maybe took a bit out of her.
Mhm.
Okay. Step 3. Done.
And then at this point, Nurse Gronsler has pulled himself together, and Dr. Peachtree looks at you, Dr. Parr, and says, I think you're up.
Awkward shuffle, spin around. Yeah. And I would like to start on the surgery to surgically remove the rest of the metal.
Excellent. By the way, your medical tools are all specially these are the special ones they use for people who have harder skin. So you have like tiny little buzzsaw, tiny little tiny little
Itty
saw
bitty.
saw,
Itty
tiny
bitty.
saw saw. Yeah.
Itty
Um,
bitty.
so small. It is good, but sharp. And yeah, go ahead and roll me a medicine check to see how well
Okay.
you're able to.
Please be good. Okay, that's okay. Wow, I'm bad at math.
You can ask Dr.
22.
Peachtree. Okay, never mind. You basically pick up a tiny chainsaw and a pair of tweezers. Tiny, just like start, and then you have like a little spatula, essentially. So you start cutting under, and then you start lifting with the spatula as you manage to cut through. And at the end, there's just a 3 by 4 inch like raw piece of wood, like the kind you would see if you basically scraped bark off of a tree, right where his shoulder is. And and then as soon as you're done, like Nurse Gronsor like is right there with a medical like metal tray, and you drop it in the tray, makes a good satisfying clunk as it hits it, and you're done.
And we're done.
Yeah.
Does the elevator conveniently start working again?
Oh, yes,
like,
it
as
does.
soon
It
as
does
we're
start
done?
converting.
Okay.
Yes, it does. As
Good.
soon as you do that, you hear like the whir of like the engine turn on again as the elevator continues to rise and it opens. And as it opens, like Dr. Drizzle is just like clapping, and then not nurse, but and then Dr. Maven can't clap, but she quivers with like she does congratulatory quivers. And as all of you kind of blink as like the sunlight kind of streams in, they say, Dr. Maven says, well done, everyone. That's the first time we've ever done an elevator surgery in the history of this hospital. I hope it'll be our last. Let's get this person stabilized. And you all rush away to get this lovely little bonsai end taken care of. In the meantime, Nisha, you finally make it. Are you going to the diagnostics tower, or are you going to billing?
I'm going to make a quick stop to billing. Actually, no. I'm going to have somebody else alert the rest of the team. I'm going to make a quick stop to Michelle.
Okay. Yeah, okay. You bring So Michelle is located in the sub basement. Are you bringing are you leaving Joanne there, or are you taking Joanne with you to the sub basement?
I'm leaving her in the capable hands of Michio, Alejandra, and a few others who I trust. And I tell them, if she moves, if she goes into your head, get the scythe, chop her head off, and burn it. Is that understood?
Okay. They all nod at you, game face already.
I'm going to see Michelle. And you
Okay.
see the scariest look on Nisha's face that she's had in a while. More so whenever something has to go to collections.
Gotcha. And on that note, I think this is a great time for a break. So with that, we will be back in 5 minutes to see who the heck Michelle is. Other than me. I mean, I don't think I don't think that you're coming to me IRL.
No, actually, Michelle, you're gonna insert yourself as an NPC now.
Yeah, no, I'm just you go downstairs, you see like this like you see this like short Asian woman, Vietnamese woman sitting in a chair with two cats.
In her
just like, "Hey."
basement.
Yeah, in her basement, just like, "Hey, what's up?"
And it's just like,
How can I help you?
kitties!
Like, yeah. All right. Well, we will be back at 7:40 and we will see you then. Bye everyone. And welcome back to Waterdeep Anatomy, where we just did not love in an elevator, we did surgery in an elevator. And now we will go ahead and see what is up with this mysterious part of billing. And Nisha, yes. So last we left you sicked several of your coworkers on Joanne Tara, who is just waiting outside, rather placidly, on a mule. And you decide to go into basically to see Michelle, who is the head of Clearinghouse, who is located in the sub basement. And there's just like a special little. Do you take the stairs? Or you take the elevator?
I take the stairs. I know
Ah,
better.
healthy, nice. So getting your steps in, understandable, and also laudable. You descend the stone staircase. You notice that the torches around you change color from like a normal kind of orangey yellow flame to something a little more eldritch. They turn purple as you descend another floor or two, deeper down, and it gets to the point where there's actually not much heat coming from the flames. It's just there. It gets a little chilly actually. And, did you remember to bring your cardigan? I'm guessing you did.
I grabbed it on the way.
Okay, good. Yeah, you stop by your desk, you grab your cardigan, you know where you're going. And, at the very base of the stairs, you see a simple wooden door that just says "Clearinghouse," and then, like, a little brass nameplate underneath that says, "Michelle," and then another little sign that says, "Knock before entering, or else."
I knock.
And the stone gargoyle that has been hovering over, it's like basically carved into the lintel of this like normal office looking door, looks down and says, "Who dares enter Clearinghouse?"
Nisha takes a breath. And Infernal says, "The head of billing. I seek audience with your master."
The eyes of the gargoyle glow a deep dark purple as it processes your request. And then, with no word, the door opens, and a mist that is clearly within like a sitcom setting made out of a bunch of dry ice and water just sort of flows into the hallway. And beyond, you see just a glimmer of light through the foggy darkness as you step through into the chilly space. And as you do, you realize that the floor beneath you get from transitions from like flagstones to like a really polished like parquet floor. It's like a nice like inlaid
Mhm.
like wood. There's like a couple of really pretty herringbone designs happening, and then your feet begin to step on like a really nice white rug with like some really cute what we would call Scandinavian designs on it, but I'm sure from here it's like frost it's like Icewind Dale, like that sort of aesthetic. And you see like a really cute looking love seat with like a throw and some really fluffy looking pillows. You see a really cute like of course no sunlight comes down here, so you see like a little greenhouse with like some flowers inside. Some tulips are blooming in there. A couple of little like bonsai roses are being grown as well. And a step like at her desk is a rather like curvy, very matronly looking tiefling woman who's knitting, and she looks like she's knitting yet another throw, like kind of like a throw car, like a shawl situation. You can use for both. On her desk, there's like a bunch of there's like a cookie jar. There's like a bunch of petunias. There's like a little bobblehead of a corgi, and she looks up at you and says, "Oh." Oh, behind her is like a ton of like books and like records and binders, all organized by color. And she just looks at you and she says, "Oh, hi, Nisha. It's so nice to see you."
How are you, Michelle?
Oh, I'm doing so well. Uh, they started making this like decorative squash chai at the little cafe down the corner. It's so good.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
Please
I
send me the
know.
details when you get
Oh
a
my
chance.
gosh, absolutely. Anytime. Well, we'll bring sit down, sit down. I haven't seen you in forever.
Oh,
How have you
you
been?
know how it is.
Yeah. What is it? Squashing heads, getting that money, getting that
Yeah.
paper so we can keep our jobs going.
Lots of overtime.
Oh,
Yeah.
babe, I know how it is.
Hmm.
Well, if you ever need puppy time, just let me know. We've had another
Oh.
litter.
Really?
Yeah, let me show you pictures. She like takes
Yes.
up her sending stone. She's like pictures of baby corgi, like corgi puppies, just like so many. All of them look so happy.
Please bring them to the department. They really loved having Corgo time.
Oh gosh, yeah, corgis and croissant time. I know we're not.
Yes.
It's not the same as Doctors and Donuts, but you know we try.
Corgos outweigh donuts, and I love donuts.
Well, I heard that there's this new thing called the cronut, and it just sounds. I mean, look, I'm a tiefling. I know we know what magic and like
Hmm.
unnatural things happen within these walls, but a cronut, what?
That sounds like heresy.
And yet it sounds amazing. Anyway, please,
Hmm.
please, what do you? How can I help you? How can I help you still?
I was, well, you've heard of the case with like people turning into metal. Has that come
Oh,
down to you?
yeah, I just got the memo about like 5 minutes before you came in, actually, and she offers you like a
Okay.
steamy mug of tea.
So here's the thing. We got we got the Terra family here.
Oh, the Terra family.
Yeah,
They're actually surprisingly punctual about their stuff.
they are. And I actually wanted to ask you because the folks from filing are out right now.
Mm.
Um, I want to know if there's anything at all that came to your desk before my time that was either outstanding or they refused. Anything
Uh,
having to do that's similar with this case, especially uh, with anyone who has been associated with the Terra family. I know that I know for a fact that people before I cleared up the department were selling their products.
mm.
And I want to know if anything came across your desk or your department's desk about this or something where someone had an adverse reaction or anything like if they kept it quiet. You know my stance on the nobles.
Oh, we all know your sense of nobles, and we're glad and better off for it. Let me
Mm.
take a look. She picks up the corgi bobblehead and holds it in her hands, and it begins to glow, and her eyes begin to glow, her horns begin to glow. That same ethereal like purple. And in her mind, you almost see like the pages just turn as she like rewinds time in her mind past hundreds of years since the beginning of Waterdeep General Hospital, and she begins chanting an infernal, just like, "Show me the passage of time, reveal to me the records of the Terra family." And it's yeah, this very very cozy grandmother looking tiefling just holding a little corgi bobblehead saying these things. And eventually she stops, and her eyes lose their glow, her horns lose their glow, and underneath the corgi bobblehead is a little stack of papers. And she says, "Oh, all right, well, let's take a look here." And
Okay.
she puts the bobblehead down, bobbles at you. And she looks through this and very quickly just surmises, they've always paid on time. Never late. In fact, usually settled day of. I see a few generous donations here, but there has been a couple of times where I've seen a couple of servants and like maybe some lesser cousins looks like come in with not the metal stuff, not like this, but other conditions. They say it was, an allergic reaction to something, but you know, given that this is happening, you gotta wonder, how long has this been in the works?
Knowing my interactions with the nobles, they like to keep things quiet. We all know that.
Hmm. Yeah, and they certainly like to make that very quiet, given the punctuality of how often they paid, which was not too often, but anywho, look. We all know nobles are terrifying in their own way with their privilege and their magic and access to arcane resources, but so did you bring her with you?
My team is taking care of her. And like the warm smile that she's had for Michelle turns into Biller smile.
And she initially meets you with similar billing clearinghouse smile with like sharp teeth and just a little bit too much, a little too wide. And then she says, with who?
Michio, Alejandra, and a few others. I figured I'd also give the new person a little taste of what we do. Break them in.
For a moment, her smile falters. And she says, wait, you said Joanne, right?
Yes.
She's the head of the family.
Yes.
You may need to go back upstairs. You may need to go back up now.
You got extra weapons on you?
Oh, always.
Oh, you're such a sweetheart. Thank
Yeah,
you.
of course. And just like
Mhm.
pulls out like a knitting basket, like a big basket that's normally like full of yarn. It's just full of weapons. It's just like, here you go. Just take what you need.
Oh,
But
thank
I would
you.
head up now if you want to take the elevator.
Yeah, might as well. I don't trust them,
Okay.
but if things go sideways, I'll send you a message. And
Thank you. I would go with you, but I am
I know
literally chained to my office here. So,
they need to stop doing that to you guys. That's not right.
I mean, I knew it was. Look, I'm a warlock. We knew what we were up signing up for.
True, but still, you guys are great.
Oh, well, that's very, very sweet. I actually kind of like it down here. But I do appreciate you need to head up, grab this, go, 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 go.
All right. I'll send you more donuts next time.
You're such a sweetheart.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. And tell your team I say hello.
Will do. And you hear like rumblings in the background.
I respond in infernal and kind and beat feet as quickly as I can to the elevator.
You get in the elevator. You grab a couple of. Do you just grab ranged weapons, or do you grab like a melee or like a Morning Star?
I grab the prettiest, sparkliest pair of claws and carefully put those on.
Yes, you do. You put them on, and as the elevator opens at the top floor, it is chaos. It is absolute complete chaos. The billing department looks absolutely destroyed. As you see the
I
unconscious bodies of your team on the floor, and one of the newer kids comes out from behind the desk where he managed to take refuge. He comes out, is like, "So sorry, Miss Smallwood. She's gone. She's gone to the diagnostics tower." A
who's
single mule, by the way, is just crunching on something and is completely fine.
It's old documents. It needed to be shredded. Who's still conscious?
I think it's just me.
With that, I'm going to cast Spare the Dying to everyone in that area
Right.
to make sure that they are stable, and when they wake
Yep.
up, they are angry and stabby.
Okay. So it is going to take a moment, and she is heading towards
Yeah.
the diagnostics tower.
So, new
At the
kid,
moment. Yeah.
that spell I just did,
Yeah.
keep doing that for the rest of the folks.
Okay, cool. I'm just a level 2, but I'll do what I can.
She mutters in infernal.
It's like this fresh-faced, um, not even a medical student, just like this, like, definitely a temp worker that they brought in for the season.
Hey, la la la, and I grab both Betsy, Lucille, and Rebecca.
Okay. Do you take the mule?
The mule can do his job and shred the rest of the unwanted documents.
Okay. Mule continues to mule.
And I am pissed.
Oh, you're so angry. It's great. So you beat feet to the diagnostics tower. In the meantime, we go over to the diagnostics tower where all of you are in, I guess, just watching Patrick just be stable, and it's like it's a miracle. There's like this brief moment where after you've scrubbed out, like after you've cleaned up, you know what you need to do now to solve this. It's just a matter of time and energy, and there's like a sense of hope and positivity in the air as you observe your cured patient. Um, yeah, what are you all up to?
I think as soon as Stormy unscrubs, like she kind of leaps and like hugs Lyra. Like, I can't believe we did that.
Yeah, you're able to control your lightning now to a single point. That's incredible.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, no, I definitely practiced that.
It looked flawless. It looked natural. You're
Did
the
it look
best
cool?
goddamn. She like does an impression of Grunslord and is like, "You're the best goddamn doctor in this hospital."
So good.
Did it look cool?
She kind of softens after like the glee comes down. It's like, it looked amazing. You were amazing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Dr. Verglass, you're standing there watching this patient on the other side of your glass, and at this point the kitten has poked its head out of your pocket and is sort of just taking in everything. Looks at you, looks at everything, meows a bit, looks at you.
You need a name, don't you? I've never had to name anything in my life. Are you a boy cat or a girl cat, or and I like to inspect?
You do not see little bulges at the bottom of the tail,
Okay.
so girl
Right,
cat.
put her back in. You can be Stacy.
Stacy does a quick little just purrs at you and does the slow blink that cats do when they're like, I trust you and love you.
I slow blink back at Stacy.
Amazing.
Am I alone in the hallway?
You can't. I think that you are, because I don't know, Dr. Stumbleduck and Sunito, are you like also observing the patient, or are you like off in the corner high-fiving each other and stuff?
I think we're off in the corner.
Yeah, probably. I think Layra was like writing stuff down for the ER team, and then
Gotcha.
Stormy jumped me.
Dr. Parr, where are you?
I am muted is what I am. I I think after the surgery, Par goes to back to their office to just work on the diagnostic notes. I pass them all off to Cirrus, and then I come back, and I would like to approach Rowan.
Great.
Yep.
Rowan is just holding up this kid.
Like, but like under its front legs, so it's like body is dangling.
So you're
down,
Lion
you know what I
Kinging
mean?
it. You're Lion Kinging it.
Yeah, I'm like, but it's
Yeah.
facing me because I'm talking
Yeah.
to it. I talk to it like it's a person. Like it
That's
has to
really
face
funny. I love
Mhm.
that. Quick question. How tall are you? I just are you taller than me? I'm 5'10", I think.
I think I'm around there. I don't remember exactly
Okay.
how tall I made myself.
Okay. So I'm gonna just walk up next to you, and you watch as Dr. Parr's eyes just kind of look at you, look at this cat, look back at you, and they'll say, would you like a space to talk? My office is open.
I suppose you would be the lesser of all the evils to talk about this with.
I don't really know what's going on, but I can listen if you'd like to vent. And Par turns on their heel and starts walking back to their office and is basically expecting you to follow me.
I follow you and keep pace. I think that this is probably something you leading and myself leading and the other one keeping pace with very little communication, I think is something that has probably happened for many years.
Yeah, we're a good team. And yeah, so we get to my office, and I will dismiss Cirrus to go file the files where files are filed, which is not going to be my office right now.
They
And-
toddle off and go do the thing. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm just going to close the door and invite you to sit on my couch, and I'll sit across from you on the other couch, and I will offer you a freshly made dick coffee. And I'll take one for myself, and I'll just, much like a therapist does, Har says in a very you can tell Z doesn't normally talk about feelings like this, but to support a friend, they will. And so in a very almost overly rehearsed manner, he just looks across at you and just says, so what's going on?
So after I sit down, I put Stacy back in my lab coat pocket and sit very primly. I mean, everything that Rowan does is very prim and proper and thought out and almost mechanical. But as soon as as soon as you do that rehearsed, let's talk about our feelings, I fully just legs spread, lean forward on my knees. Just all of that goes away. Don't cut the shit, Zenith. Come on. We don't do this, and it's fucking weird, and that's fine.
I know. I just thought I'd try to help. Just come on, just drink your dick coffee and tell me what's wrong.
I look down at the dick coffee. This is actually very good and hilarious. I think you should not have them practice. This is great.
Well, Cirrus has been practicing, and it's just been getting more dick-like.
I mean, that is probably a marketable skill somewhere, to be quite frank.
Okay, no, I see what you're doing. No, we're gonna talk about you.
Shit. Okay. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
Yeah. No, I saw right through you. Come on, spit it out.
Every time. Okay, so you know that honestly, I don't really know how, but I'm with Elaine, right?
Yes.
You met Elaine at the last Christmas party, The last holiday party?
Briefly, yes, she was nice, I think. Yeah, she was nice. It's
Yeah,
very
that's
clear Par is just, like, making something up because I don't think Par remembers Elaine.
I look at you. Elaine is the like blonde human that was next to me all night.
Ah.
You absolutely hit on her 3 separate times.
No.
Hmm,
No.
a little
Anyways,
bit.
Elaine.
Elaine. You were right though. She is very nice. And that's the thing is she's very nice and likes me. Oh, I'm sorry, Elaine is not blonde. I just remembered.
Yeah,
This
no,
has been
she's got
established.
twists and
She
yeah,
does.
she's black.
I just remembered we have
Yeah.
already met Elaine and she's not blonde. She's very nice and very beautiful and with me. And I don't know how to do that or how I held on to her for this long. And I think she's gone now.
What makes you think that?
Well, she's been married before, which is fine. That's not an issue. But she brought it up this morning and quickly followed it up with she had to leave for some amount of time and couldn't tell me where or why or really for whom other than that it had to do with this previous marriage. And then I got a letter from her with the cat saying it was to help me be more personal or something.
Weird.
Right?
I think you're enough personable.
I think so too. I can do my job just fine.
We share like a very like curt nod at this.
But that sounds like a breakup, right? Am I wrong?
Can I see the letter? And you can say no.
I mean, you could. It's in my. I threw it away.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Did she say specifically we are breaking up?
No.
Did she specify a time that she will be back?
No.
Is reaching out to her and responding and asking her these questions an option for you?
And GM, do I have a way to reach her? For some reason I feel like I don't, but do I?
I mean, you have her number on your sending stone, but I would say that have you thought to call her?
No.
Okay, well
Yes,
there you
this
go.
is what Par is getting at. Par is getting at like you are assuming a lot of things,
Mhm.
my friend, and you need to talk to her.
So I think this is very obvious on Rowan's face. I could probably call her about it.
And Par just nods and offers you a sympathetic smile and says, remember what we learned in school. You need to get all the facts before you can make decisions about what to do next. Assumptions help no one.
Right.
You know I'm right.
And Dr. Rowan,
Only
you reach
sometimes.
you reach into your lab coat pocket and you take out your sending stone and you look up your partner's number, and just as you're about to hit call, a big boom is heard outside of the tower.
From my adventuring days, does this sound familiar to me at all?
Oh yeah, this sounds like somebody is trying to take down this diagnostics tower. Or at least get in.
I think very immediately the like vulnerable look on my face switches not to doctor mode, but to something that the hospital staff I don't think has ever seen. Something very like grim and determined and almost gleeful.
The photo negative like lighting happens again.
Yeah. And the stone goes back in my pocket, and it's fully as if I've like that part of myself and my brain shut down, is not important anymore. Zenith, I think we'd better go.
Yeah. And Zenith stands up, and I will put my lab coat back on, and we are back to business.
I think I take my lab coat off and set it gently down with the kitten.
Do you take the kitten with you?
I will not take the kitten with me, but if it follows me, I won't.
It follows you.
So, okay.
It just crawls out of the folds and just follows you, tail up in the air. And as you do, Dr. Stumbleduck and Sonito, you are both in the hallway. You're kind of flirting with each other. And then you also hear the boom. And neither of you have been adventuring, right?
No.
So this is new. And so as soon as you hear it, not a second later, you see Dr. Rowan Verglas like walk very confidently without her lab coat on into the hallway. And you see this new, confident, very different doctor in front of you. This is
I
not the
think
Dr.
hair
Verglas.
is like doing some crazy movement.
Yeah, it's like constantly like someone's holding up a fan, and it's all very attractive still.
Oh,
What was that
amazing.
sound?
I believe we're under attack at the moment.
Attack?
Yes. Did you not hear the loud noise that just happened?
I'll go get my boomerang.
Seeing that Rowan is now does not have their coat on, immediately Lyra starts taking off hers.
Everyone's taking off their lap whites.
Yeah.
And
Has anyone heard from Nisha? As she says that as she starts taking off her lab whites.
Not since the check-in that they sent about bringing the Terras here.
Nisha, have you sent ahead any texts or messages?
All
Or are you
you
just like huffing it?
all you hear is the scrape of metal on stone.
So yeah, in the distance you hear the scrape of metal on stone.
Oh, there she is.
She's
If you've
coming.
ever seen like any horror film or any horror anime, like the good ones, I want to say like Corpse Party, there's that dark aura around her and a rightfully pissed off look.
Mhm.
And you just hear nothing but infernal.
Okay, so we're under attack. Perfect.
So yeah, you hear basically this very loud noise, and then essentially the you basically head down, probably not taking the elevator. I'm guessing you're taking the stairs this time.
Yeah, no elevator.
You're not taking the elevator anymore. There
Worst
is no
10 minutes of
stairwell
my
bar.
life.
There is no a stairwell barred, and so you head down, and you basically as you do so, do any of you want to make a quick perception check as you pass by the patients that are still affected?
I got a 17.
I got a 27.
Nice.
Okay. You notice that it's starting to spread.
Fuck. Okay. How far away did the sound? Like, did the attack sound from where we are?
The attack sounded very, very close. It was basically at the base of the tower because as you emerge, you do see you've never seen this person before. They're like this incredibly attractive blonde elf, high elf, standing there in like dusty pink robes, very elegantly cut, and she looks at all of you and says, "Oh, I believe you have a couple of my um patients upstairs. I would love to take them with me if you don't mind."
Now, what did I say about speaking?
And all of you turn around, you see the scariest, just like small, very scary Nisha. Armed to the teeth.
I have a clarifying question.
Yeah.
Were we in the tower when this happened, or were we in the main hospital and then we're coming to the tower?
You were in the tower. You haven't moved
Okay.
from the tower.
So we're just coming down the stairs down to the base of the tower where Nisha and the noble lady is, Joanne.
Yes.
Mhm.
Which is weirdly enough my mom's name, but I digress. Anyway,
We're fighting your mom.
we're fighting my mom. Damn, mom, I didn't know you'd get into MLMs. Jeez.
Square up, mom.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Yikes.
fight you. Anyway, okay, cool. Can I roll to check on the patients? Because I also think like Par is not the most combat oriented person. I've done a lot of traveling, but I don't think I saw a lot of combat other than the typical necessary adventuring means to defend yourself kind of thing. Okay.
Gotcha. Yes, there is
Oh, that
there
was good.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what were we rolling? Was it perception or investigation? Perception. It's really good. A 26? 26.
Okay. Yep, you basically see the same thing. You see that it's spreading.
Can I
rather
make
rapidly.
Am I able to make assumptions as to why it's spreading rapidly?
Yes. You're able to. So here's what you piece together in a very like Sherlock Holmes sort of way. Sherlock Holmes, not the Benedict Cumberbatch version, the Robert Downey Jr. version. So time slows. It's like one. You, one. You realize that this person. You take the cut and the first thing you notice is the smell of this person. They smell of cinnamon, patchouli.
Yeah, that was going to be my
spices.
second thing was what does the air smell like right now?
You notice this scent in the air. You know that too. It is coming from this person who is looking very, very well off. And you also, 3, notice that they have a striking physical similarity to the nurse, Dorothy Tara. 4, you also get the impression that this person is of incredible intelligence and has a lot of magical ability to them, possibly enough expertise to maybe craft something that might actually create this kind of result. And last but not least, 5, you discern pretty much automatically, oh, they're reacting to you because you made this.
Wait, who's reacting to who?
The patients are reacting to Joanne. Joanne's
I
presence.
see. Do I think that the 4-step process we did in the elevator is what we should be doing now? Or do you think taking her down is like basically, do I have time to start on doing the stuff that we did in the elevator or
Probably not,
okay,
because
cool.
the closer she gets, the more this is gonna accelerate.
Awesome. We're gonna fight. And I think I just like quickly relay this to everyone else who rolled and also noticed the metals spreading. And I think I just say, okay, we gotta go. We gotta stop this lady, whoever she is,
And she
and
says, "All I really want to
take
do
off
is."
running down the hall.
Okay. So, yes, well, actually, you notice this. You kind of put this together as you are running. Like,
Yes.
you note the condition of the patient, you see this person. The moment you see this person, time slows. You have the Robert Downey Jr. moment, and you
There's like a
are
cool shot of me running in slow motion, and I should note, Par doesn't run normally. Like, Par is not a runner. I'm not a track star.
but Par looks magnificent, even though they're not a runner.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
if
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
ignore
yeah.
the heavy breathing, you
The
see their
form
lab coat,
looks
like,
great.
flowing.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's great. But yeah, you see this person in front of you, and you see your colleagues in front of you. You see Nisha standing there. You did hear Dr. Druzadil like ask what's going on, and Dr. Maven is probably maybe not the best person in this situation, given that she is a gelatinous cube and moves very slowly. So yeah, this is what you notice as you see the scene before you. And yeah, she once again makes her request. I just really want to see my patients. I mean, after all, they were looking to better themselves, and I'd love to check in on their progress.
At that point, Nisha has says, "Shut up." And 4th level spiritual weapon.
Okay, let's roll some combat. Let's roll some initiative.
I still have my inspiration. Can I use that?
Yes, you can.
Hell yeah. That was
17 initiative for me.
Okay.
18 for me.
Okay.
so 8 plus 9. 10.
10 from Dr. Verklis.
10 for Nisha.
17.
10 for Nisha. Okay. Sorry, who was 17? I'm writing.
Dr. Verglis.
Thank you. Sorry, I was looking down and writing.
Par got a 15.
Par got a 15.
And
Sunito.
19.
19. What's your dex modifier?
My dex modifier is +1.
Okay. Gotcha. Joanne does beat you by 1, which means that she does go first.
Boo.
And she's just a very high level wizard. So the first thing that she is going to do, as she looks at all of you and says, I just don't really understand what the issue here is, and casts fly on herself and attempts to just basically get out of, just go, just like leave. And yeah, that's what she's going to do. What would Dr. Sedito, how would you like to do this? She is going to try to fly 30 feet up in the air.
Okay. Has she begun ascending, or is it just
She
she
has begun
shoots up
ascending.
immediately?
Oh no, she
Okay.
has begun ascending.
Ascend.
Then Lyra's going to rush forward. I imagine Lyra's like in the middle of the group when we all rush down. She's going to rush forward and try to grapple her. Using her height, she's gonna literally just try and grapple her.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack.
Okay. For grappling, is that unarmed, or is it just like a straight attack?
It is it's a straight attack. It's a yeah.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Awesome. That is a 19.
Okay. That let's see. That will do it. You grab her.
Awesome. I think as she does that, she kind of like bounds forward and then leaps on the third bound to grab her and is like, "We aren't finished speaking," and then she kind of wraps her large arms around her.
Yeah, you try to drag her down. And that is you're about 10 feet high, right? So she's about 15 feet up, and you just grab her and you drag her down to your height, and so you got her around the waist as you managed to do that. And yeah,
I'm 7'2", not 10.
you're 7'2". Okay, but you do
Yeah.
bound.
Yeah.
You do a bound. So yeah, you grab her, and now she is you've got her actually, yeah, you got her by the waist, and she is definitely not looking happy about this whole situation. Stumbleduck, you're up.
Okay. Stormy's gonna yell, "Stay away from Lyra and Finley," and is going to throw her storm boomerang.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna make this a little bit harder for you because you need to not hit your friend.
Sure.
So yeah, go ahead.
I got a 20 to hit.
Yeah, a 20 will do it.
Okay. I rolled a 4 on the regular damage, so that's
Okay.
6. And then I'm going to expend the lightning, and I rolled 11 there. So that's 17. And then I'm going to use Psychic Blades, which I can do to make whenever I get a weapon attack, make Psychic Blades follow it. And I'm going to do that, and that's 12 more damage.
You definitely took a chunk out of this woman. She
Mhm.
is her perfectly manicured nails are just ragged. Her hair is all kinds of frazzled. It is not as pretty as you think.
Cool.
Yeah. Dr. Verglis.
Okay. I think seeing this person try and fly away, watching Lyra take her to the ground, and knowing that she's quite magical, I'm going to go ahead and cast Hold Person.
Nice. Let me take a look.
It's a Wisdom DC.
Wisdom DC.
18 is the DC.
She's actually going to counterspell that.
Oh, wizards.
You got her from the waist up. She can still move her arms.
That's fair. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I think for my bonus action, I'm going to use one of my Fey steps to blink out and blink up right next to her. And she has to make a DC 16 Wiz save or experience the frightened condition.
She makes it by 1.
Oh, bummer. That's okay.
So
That's
close.
my turn.
So close. Par.
Hello, it's me. Cool. I am going. If D&D Beyond will stop covering up the stuff I'm looking at. Ay. What is? She is how far away from me?
She's about not more than 10 feet away from you.
Cool. And counterspell's a reaction, right? So she doesn't have another
she's
reaction.
out of reactions.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I need to go grab more dice. I want to attempt to cast Sleep using one of my 4th level spell slots. So it's going to be a lot of dice.
Okay. Is
I will
that
be
the
back.
AoE spell? Sorry. Okay.
It is range of 90 feet and it's a 20-foot sphere. And so I think creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose. Oh, okay. So it's a 20-foot sphere that I can move up to 90 feet away from me. Can I choose?
I think it's.
So I think it's everyone in the thing. So if someone's currently holding on to her, I might put you to sleep too. But
I mean, that's fine. I knew what I was getting into with this. Someone had to hold her. She was moving.
I don't have enough D8s, so I gotta get more. So it is 5d8 for first level.
Okay.
I think, right?
Let me pull up the spell.
Yeah, it's 5d8 for the first level, and then every spell slot you go up, you get an additional 2. So it's
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 d8s. Which, can I just roll on here? That's going to be easier. Did it show up? I don't know how to use D&D Beyond.
It's okay.
Oh, here. Nope, that didn't work.
We
Can I
could
tell my
also
phone to roll dice?
Do you want me to roll for you? Because I got you. If you'd like me to.
Hey Siri, roll 11 d8s. She doesn't get it. Okay, can someone roll for me, please?
Yeah, I'll roll
This
for
math
you.
is
Don't worry
gonna
about
take
it.
me forever.
11, yeah.
Yep, 11 d8, and basically, if I manage to get above her HP total, she
You-
goes down.
You only got a 44. So,
F.
she is
That's
drowsy,
even lower
but
than my own hit points.
sometimes the red dice are just real unfortunate. But yeah, you definitely cast this. You see her like kind of go like, yeah. And then she looks at
Nodding
you and
off.
gives you this, yeah, she's nodding off, but still. And then Lyra, you also feel this effect is just, and it's enough to make you a little tired, but you know, you've run 36-hour shifts before. This is nothing. Anything else you'd like to do, Par?
Just I think in response to her being like, I want to see my patients or whatever, I think Par just like after attempting this spell, Z just says, is her title like Madame or like Madam or like what do we all call her? Because I think I know her.
Ma'am. Just
Ma'am.
ma'am.
I think I'm just gonna call her by her last name. I'm just gonna call up to her and say, doTERRA, these patients are not your patients anymore. They are in this hospital and are our patients. Stop what you are doing. Please, you're hurting them.
With that admonishment, Nisha, you are up. She is currently being held by Lyra. Lyra's big arms.
Big beefy arms.
Big strong arms.
Lift bear like bear.
I squish Noble like egg.
And Nisha to herself thinks she would have made a great biller. She would have made a great biller. So, okay. Nisha is rightfully pissed off. The majority of her team are unconscious. They're going to have to go through retraining again. And in her hand, on both hands, are 2 sets of claws, the supervisor and the manager. How far away is Tara from Nisha?
You're all in like a 15-foot like situation, so you will not need to dash.
I will get up as close as possible.
How tall are
And
you?
I am 5'4".
Okay. She is being held like up here. So there's this. Unless you would like Lyra to bring her down a little bit.
I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon. And I had cast that before like the fight started at 4th level.
Yep.
And from that, you see little pinpricks come from the supervisor and the manager in the form of codes and very annoyed words, both in common and infernal. And she just like throws both of them right at Tara's eyeballs.
Okay, go ahead and roll me attacks.
Don't fuck me over. Wait, that's the wrong
see.
die. Wait.
She's not prone, right? So let me see.
Eh, hold on one sec. That is
Yeah, you don't get any additional advantage on that or anything. She's not prone.
17 plus 22.
22 does hit.
Alrighty. And I need 2d8. 8, 9, 10 plus. That is 12 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, wait. Because brain is brain. At higher levels, I can add another d8
Mm-hmm.
for every level above third. So I'm going to need another d8. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 19 plus. Yeah, that goes up to 22.
Yep. Okay. Sounds like a plan. She is looking a little worse for wear as these claws come out of nowhere and just poke at her in ways that are deeply unpleasant for her. And let's see. Yeah, that brings us back to the top. So Joanne is going to just teleport out of your arms. And she teleports about 10 feet away, 10, 15 feet away, and just says, "Look, I don't want to fight anyone here. I just want to help people like you help people. This is why I made this. They're going to look so amazing and so beautiful once they're done. Can't you see? We're evolving people here, bringing them to a higher consciousness."
I like my boyfriend how he is. Stay away from him.
Now, what did I tell you about speaking?
Dr. Sinio, you're back up.
Okay. I am back up, so I believe I'm going to. Her teleporting away changed everything I was going to do. How dare.
Wizards.
Wizards! Okay. I believe I'm going to. I'm gonna rush after her. And what's like the environment around us? Is it just like the base of the tower and like
It's the base of the tower. You're on the street.
okay, there's like no trees or anything nearby?
There's a few like pieces of grass.
Okay.
Closest tree is
Okay.
upstairs at the very top of the tower. Currently unconscious.
Amazing. Okay. I think Lyra is going to run towards her and is then going to take another leap using her 7-2. So she's going to leap a bit in the air to get above her and is then going to try and bring an elbow down on her for an unarmed strike. And as that happens, very anime, it's run, get up in the air, and then gets to a certain point to come down and is just like, healing means helping people, not changing them. And that will be 25 to hit.
That hits.
Perfect. And that is 12 points of damage.
Mm-hmm. You absolutely take her down. And as you elbow her, it's a little bit like just slamming yourself onto a bunch of like popsicle sticks. She just goes down. She is prone. She's not out, but she's prone, and she is under you, and she is not looking great. She's already not in a good position, but she's even looking worse at the moment.
Okay.
Anything else
Perfect.
you'd like to do?
Nope. For now, I'm just gonna lay on her and let her try and teleport again later.
All right, Dr. Stumbleduck. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
I am going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay,
I
what do
call
your spirit
forth.
guardians look like?
I think they look like little angelic cherubic nurses.
Amazing.
They've
They
got
like nurse
a
scrubs.
stethoscope. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. So she needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
What's the save?
13.
She makes it.
Ugh. Okay. A successful save, you take half as much damage. So and their speed is halved. So that'll be 8 damage.
All right. Your nurses come up and they kind of glower around her and start like chastising her, and psychically she's just like, oh, as they say, pseudoscience isn't real medicine. And and yes, she is definitely not looking very happy about the situation. So Jay had to step aside really quickly. So Nisha, you are, oh no, sorry, Dr. Verglis, what am I doing?
Okay. I'm going to walk the 10 feet up to her lying on the ground, still rather gleeful as all this combat has erupted around me for the first time in a long time. And I'm going to say, in no capacity are these people your patients. And the fact that you would even use that terminology is frankly rather insulting. And I'm going to backhand this woman laying on the floor and cast inflict wounds.
Okay, go for it.
Great.
So she's already under essentially a giant Bernese mountain dog, and then you're going to just
Smack her.
her.
You're just gonna smack her.
Yeah. This
Would you like to roll?
is a side of Rowan you've never seen before. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, 29.
Yeah, you do that.
Great. 22 points of necrotic damage. So not only am I backhanding her, she's been talking about how she's helping these people look better, and I'm just gonna start sucking the life out of her.
Her face takes on a ghostly pallor, and your little kitten actually like goes up to you, and its eyes also begin to glow. Its tail splits into two, and you for a minute you all don't really see Dr. Verglis. Dr. Verglis could be in front of you, could be maybe 10 feet away. It is very hard to see where they are at the moment.
Yep. Full photo negative is how I end my turn.
Yes, with a little kitten, also full photo negative in front of you.
Wonderful.
Dr. Parr is currently still trying to persuade her to stop, and I mean she is at this point rather persuaded by virtue of having the life sucked out of her, and also beneath a very large Bernese mountain dog of a person. Nisha, would you like to render her unconscious?
Yes,
Okay.
very much so. I walk up to the photo negative Dr. Rowan Verglas. I look very impressed and say, may I?
Of course.
Good. I stand above Lady doTERRA and with the
It's Lady
manager.
Tara, but cool, we can just go with doTERRA. which is totally fine.
with the doTERRA bitch. And I, with the manager and the supervisor, claw at her and say, "This is what you get for fucking around with my patients!"
And you smack her with your hand or
With the claw.
with the claws. It does not take very much. And she just passes out in front of you.
I then just like step on her chest and just say, "That was for my team, and I'll be billing you later." Fucking asshole.
Dr. Parr, you come
Did you
back
kill
in.
her? What happened?
She's unconscious. She's on saving throws right now. So you could stabilize her if you want to bring her in.
I didn't kill
Okay.
her.
I will cast. Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, okay, cool. Wow, that was convenient. I'm
I
gonna
basically
cast.
just held your action until you came back.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna cast Spare the Dying.
Yep. You cast Spare the
to
Dying.
stabilize her.
And then the doors open and you see a very frantically quivering pink gelatinous cube quiver out, and then Dr. Drusilla also comes out and says, What happened here? Everything all right? Oh God. Who is this?
And Par is going to just point downwards, as I assume, like if we're getting a gurney out here, just pointing downwards and saying, "We have identified the source of our problem."
Nurse Gronslor and Dr. Peachtree come back out and they say, "Oh, okay." And Nurse Gronslor says, "I'll go get the gurney." And so um, you wheel her into the ER, which is being rebuilt. People are casting mending on things. You see a series of scenes where she is recovering in the ER trauma unit, and you all go back upstairs, you take some time to recover, and you begin the long hard work of basically just healing the other two patients. The next morning dawn breaks over Waterdeep, and the two patients are hale and healthy, sleeping in their in their beds. And you see that now the ward has been I guess the unfortunately a lot of the prom decorations were casualties of the explosions, so people did have to redecorate throughout the day. And but yeah, you see that the whole, I guess, cafeteria area of Waterdeep General Hospital has been transformed. Somebody hangs up a basically a disco ball, but looks like Beholder, just like in the middle of the cafeteria. And there's streamers. And yeah, this is the beginning of the Waterdeep General prom. And you see basically like two the one of the heads of Waterdeep General Hospital, the head of geriatrics, just sigh and say, "The things I do to please my children," as, as the other staff members begin to file in. There is a band of bards in the corner playing Waterdeep's greatest hits. What are all of you? Who goes in first? Or are you attending? Um, yeah.
I actually want to contact Dr. Parr before prom happens. I, Dr. Parr, Elaine and I were planning to go together, and she is going to miss it, and I feel obligated to go. And going alone feels socially strange. If you are not otherwise occupied, would you accompany me?
Dr. Parr's mouth twitches slightly. amused because I imagine that, like, literally 5 minutes prior to this, Dr. Petrie has asked me to go to the prom with her.
Perfect.
And I actually love the idea that Dr. Petrie is still hanging around, just kind of watching. Um, and Dr. Parr just folds their hands in front of them, and they look at you, Rowan, and then they turn their head to look over their shoulder where Petrie is still standing.
Peachtree is looking really awkward and honestly, like, kind of like, because I don't think you actually answered their question. I don't think you answered
No, I
her,
have
right?
not.
You
No.
haven't. And so she's like looking at Dr. Verglas and is super uncomfortable. And just, you know what? Never mind. It's fine.
No,
You two should be together. It's
I am surprised at how popular I am. I have lived a long time and I have never been asked to prom.
don't let it go to your head too much, Zenith.
And then I think Parr just kind of like looks between the two of you again and just says, "There's no rules against me bringing both of you, is there? If you two don't mind, of course."
Dr. Peachtree looks at you, Dr. Rowan, and says, if you,
Dr. Peachtree, it would be only platonic.
okay, sure, platonic.
At least on my end. I can assure you I will not get involved in any adventures in closets that may arise this evening for you.
Rowan.
Blush.
Parr just looks at you.
So we fast forward to seeing the three of you enter together.
Yeah, I have one of you on each of my arms.
I love it.
What are you wearing to prom, Rowan?
I am wearing a floor-length, deep red velvet gown that's very like old Hollywood style. So very like form-fitting, like off the shoulder, sweetheart neckline kind of vibe. Yeah, it's just all very like old Hollywood, sort of the hair, the makeup, the outfit. And she is in fact wearing makeup for the first time entering this hospital.
I think Parr is wearing so their skin is like this beautiful navy color and they have smatterings of glowing freckles across their skin. And normally they, wearing lab coats and all that. You don't get to see their arms, but I think they're wearing a strapless or like, fuck it. We're doing a turtleneck halter top sort of dress. And it is I think they are wearing white. And then as the dress goes down to the bottom, there's a gradient to like beautiful stars and like the constellation-esque designs in this dress. And then the entire back is open. But they're literally glowing. I think they've also done their hair up in an updo. It's and like a nice little, there's some like flowers stuck in it. Yeah, I look very different. And
Yeah.
I think white graphic eyeliner is like the detail in the makeup here.
Dr. Peachtree looks like a 90s rom-com hero, like main character. She's just out a spaghetti strap with like this really pretty pink glittery dress. It's almost like it's like a pink. It's just pink. Like think Elwoods, but
Oh, incredible. Yeah.
Elwoods, essentially, and she, I think you all got corsages together, and so you're all wearing, like, a white robe.
I had Cirrus go out and get us matching corsages just for this.
They looked really phallic to start with, so you had to fix them.
Yeah.
Um,
No. No. And
I
I
tried
wanna know, I don't think we get there early. I don't think we get there on time. I think we get there late.
Oh, yeah, you totally get there late.
Due
So
to the fixing of the corsages. Par wasn't about to let us walk out like that.
yeah, I think at some point, yeah, there's, like, the whole discussion of, like, "No, put the flower over here. No, the flower needs to" So,
She's like, "Stop touching it."
who does get there on time? Is it Nisha? Or is it Lyra and Stumbleduck?
I think Lara is usually tries to be pretty punctual as she can be with Melanie.
Mm. So, who did you end up going to prom with?
Melanie, she looks a little sad about it upon arrival, but she is happy to be there with her girlfriend. But she did not get around to asking Stormy because she heard Stormy and Flannery talking about prom in the hallway.
Yeah. What are you wearing?
So Lara is kind of wearing a femininely cut, almost like 80s style tux that is like a deep blue with like a flared coat to it and kind of a ruffled green shimmery blouse underneath, and
Mhm.
actually has her hair down for the first time in a while. She usually tends to put it up in the buns.
Amazing. Yeah, Melanie is just wearing essentially a giant confection of a dress. It's just a bunch of tulle cinched at the waist. Um white pearlescent tulle, white and gold pearlescent tulle, tied in the middle with like a big gold ribbon. Um yeah, she looks like a confection. And she looks great. She's hot.
Yeah, I mean, impeccable. You look delicious, darling.
Oh my god, thank you so much. I picked this up the other day at a thrift shop. They say it was a tablecloth, but I don't believe them.
That's what I love about you. Creative as always.
Thank you so much. Okay, let me tell you, we had the most we had the weirdest case today. There were two dwarves stuck on the same lance. It was so weird. We had to take care of that in the EMT. Luckily, we just cut the lance in half, and so she keeps going on about that.
I think as she's going on about that, Lara is like attentive, but like still looking around for someone that isn't Melanie.
Nisha, are you showing up to prom?
Immediately after beating the shit out of doTERRA, she goes to return the manager and the supervisor to Michelle, thanks
Mhm.
her for her help,
Of course.
goes back to the department to clean up the mess, bills out said mess to the doTERRA family, and adds in the damages as well. This takes her quite a bit of time. They almost don't go, just from exhaustion, from actually using spells. But they do show up. But they show up quietly and alone. And they show up in a nice dress that they've had for years. Nice jewelry. And a messenger bag filled with containers to stuff as much food as they can. It's on the hospital's dime, so so Nisha is gonna make sure that she goes home with enough food for the week.
As you sit down, you hear a bunch of yipping at your heels, and you see a crowd of corgi puppies just like clustering around you. And Michelle, in a nice dress. Something that like the mother of the bride would wear. um, shows up and she's it looks nice. It looks really good. And she says, "Oh, hello, dear. They're letting me up for the prom. It's so nice. I see you also are here for all the snacks."
I have to stock up. I think after this, I won't be able to. I think after this, I'll be able to have some food for the next couple of weeks.
You know, I can always add another couple of zeros in the payroll department.
Not worth it, but thank you.
Well, at least we've got wonderful friends, wonderful puppers, and I'm certainly grateful to have you.
Nisha puts her hand on Michelle's hand, gives it an affectionate squeeze. I think once the containers are full, I'll head home.
You sure you don't want to pop downstairs for a nice cuppa?
Can I get a rain check on that?
Always.
Nisha gets up, gives Michelle an affectionate hug, gives some scritches to the puppos, and tries to quietly head out with anyone noticing. And can I make a stealth check for that? Because
You can absolutely make a stealth check for that.
I want to see how badly this goes.
I would like to try to see you,
All right, make a.
but I think you would just go against my passive perception because I'm not like actively looking for you. But
Why don't you roll with disadvantage? Unless you don't want to.
my passive perception apparently is 23. Because I see everything. Remember the bit from before this game?
Yes, I know all.
I see all. My eyes see everything. So the DC is 23.
I rolled a 15, so you see me try to Irish goodbye this shit.
And I don't think Par is like dancing or anything. Like I think I like to imagine the scene is Rowan and I are politely just talking and like casual, like being a lot more casual than we normally are, because I think the two of us are like friends enough that we can do that with each other. But if like any one of our coworkers or like anyone else like comes too close to us, we immediately just like go back to like what they're used to. It's kind of funny. And Petrie is like ominously hovering around like really awkwardly. Yeah, no, literally like being so awkward and weird, and I love her. And I think out of the corner of my eye I see Nisha trying to slip out, and so I just look at Rowan and say, excuse me a moment, and I will follow Nisha out, and I want to call out to you after you've left the main room, and I just say like, "Hey, Nisha, leaving so soon? Party not your type?"
No rest for the wicked, you know that.
Yeah. Well, I just got a really interesting book recommendation from Rowan, and I think I have our next book for our club. And I'm saying this really quietly to you.
Nisha will turn around and walk closer to you at a respectful distance and say, "Really?"
Yes, so on your way home, you should go pick up a copy of The Nightman Cometh. I think it'll be a good one.
I recommended this book while we were fixing the phallic corsages.
Yeah.
It took a really long time.
I think you broke me. Okay. Nisha becomes small again. Okay. And
Okay.
holds out her hand. And if Dr. Parr doesn't reach, she just quickly pulls back and just turns
Are
around
you
and
reaching
walks.
out like this or reaching out like how are you reaching?
Kind of like that, like palm down.
Gotcha. In a very genteel manner, Par will take your hand and just like lean down, and I'll just kiss your hand gently and just say, "I hope you have a good night." And I'm going to, if you are turning to walk away, I am going to turn and walk back into the party.
Nisha smiles and actually smiles for once and just says, "Thank you." And
over my shoulder, I just say, "No problem. I look forward to our next club meeting."
I'll let you know when I get it. And quickly runs out to catch the latest public transit to get home as quickly as possible.
Yep. The cart pulls up. You swing on with your Tupperware full of delicious party food, and you head home for a quiet night. Dr. Verglis, you are inside the party, and Dr. Parr leaves to go check on Nisha. And suddenly you hear a door open, and it like opens really quickly and precipitously, and you see caked in mud and other various substances your partner, Dr. Elaine Shipshape. She's in adventuring gear, and on one hip, she's got what looks like a half elf little girl. And she's just like, Ron, are you here? And the music just screeches to a halt.
Elaine? And I uncharacteristically run across the floor.
You run across the floor. The kitten that has snuck onto your shoulder is clinging to your shoulder. The displacer kitten is clinging to your shoulder. And you catch each other right underneath the beholder disco ball.
Do you dirty dancing it like lift?
Well, she is carrying a child.
She has a kid. Not
right.
Like the kid. I'm a weird person, but I'm not bad. I'm not that bad.
And she reaches up to you, and you just kiss. You just kiss on the dance floor. Everyone like starts cheering and clapping their hands, and she steps back and looks at you and says, "Oh no, I've got mud all over your beautiful makeup. You never put on makeup. Oh, I'm so sorry."
I feel more comfortable this way. Anyway, where did you go? Who is this?
This is
Hello.
hello. And the little girl looks up at you. She's got her thumb in her mouth, and she just looks up and says, and doesn't say anything. She just kind of like is very shy, and then burrows back into Elaine's chest, into her neck. And Elaine looks at you and says, "I'm so sorry. As it turns out, I have a daughter, and she was taken by a group of goblins, and my former partner had also been who was taking care of her, never told me, and now they're unable to, and I had to hunt them down. I had to take her back. I'm so sorry. It was a rush job. I had no time to explain, and
Elaine, you should have told me. I would have gone with you. I would have dropped everything for it. And I get
no,
down
you
on my
had
knees.
a mystery. You had a mystery thing to solve. You get down on your knees.
Get down on my knees. This is
I
so
like to think
dramatic.
you get down on like both of them. You don't get down on one. You get down on both.
You just
of your knees.
collapse onto your knees.
I do. I get down on both my knees. I don't know how to do this or how to do any of this. I realized when you were gone that you are so good for me, and I will never find anything else like you. And I don't really have anything. And I like pat my non existent pockets in this incredibly tight dress. And
You
instead,
do have your
pull off
corsage. Oh, okay.
I pull off a very simple platinum ring that I use to cast warding bond in case, like, I keep on all the time in case I have to cast warding bond on a patient, and I hold it out to her. Marry me?
Her tears like start welling out of her eyes, and she says, of course, I will marry you. And
And I
and
stand
her
up and kiss her.
Yeah, it's a big like kissing, and they're holding there's a baby, and then there's a kitten, and everyone's losing their mind. And in the background, Dr. Stumbleduck, you've been there for a while,
Yeah.
and with Flannery,
Uh-huh.
and you see all of this go down.
And I think Stormy's gonna walk in. She's wearing kind of a floor-length bronze, like metallic gown. I think, it was a gown that had been in her closet, that she had gotten to like go to an event with Lyra, and then they broke up before they ever went. So she's wearing that gown. Um, and she's gonna kind of like slide in near Rowan and be like, I'm ordained. We could do this tonight.
I look at Elaine.
You're in
And-
a room full of clerics. Everyone
I actually have the ceremony.
We're
spell
all
spell I
ordained.
took,
The
though, so I
ceremony.
can,
all of you are ordained.
Amazing.
I can rule-wise marry someone, though.
I look at Elaine and apparently this child that I'm going to be adopting. Well,
let's do it. And for the sake of time, I'm going to say the ceremony happens. Everyone's happy. Someone runs down the street, buys so much champagne. It's amazing. And
Can I send Cirrus to go buy the champagne?
yeah, you do. This like little wormling just comes back dragging kegs of champagne.
Good.
Heavily pressurized kegs because it's sparkly. But at the very end of the night, like Flannery, it's the last dance of the night. Flannery is dancing with you, Stormy, and says, "What's wrong, dear? You performed a ceremony tonight. You look sad."
Look, Flannery.
Super tall tiefling.
Yeah.
No.
I don't want you to feel anything less than amazing. When you were sick, I was so worried about you, and it really made me realize how important you are to me. But I always also realized how important Lyra is to me, and it's complicated.
He kneels down and he looks at you and he says, "Look, I never said that I needed to have you all to myself. If you want to also pursue something with Lyra, I will still be here for you."
You are.
I'm not a jealous man. Except when it comes to falafel.
I won't eat anyone else's falafel.
Oh, I better not see you eating any other person's falafel.
To be honest, I don't really like falafel much. Yours is the only one I like.
Well, why don't you go over to Lyra and say something?
Okay, yeah. And I think I'll give him a little kiss on the cheek and went over to
He kisses
Lyra.
you on the forehead and smiles.
Lyra?
I think Lyra had been like dancing with Melanie, and it was very much like Derek Shepherd pining. I'm dancing with this person, but my eyes and attention are on this other person, and we're dancing so closely so I could pay attention to someone else behind you. But the moment that you start coming over, I just I tap Melanie and I'm like, sweetie, we have to have a talk, but I have to have a very important talk right now.
She looks at the both of you and she says, "Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is. We've talked about this before. You know what? You go fine, go. I've got bigger fish to fry." And she just fluffles off the dance floor with her towel.
I'm sorry. She seems great.
She's not. She's hot,
Yeah.
but what's up? You just did a ceremony.
Yeah.
That was wonderful, as always.
Flannery's okay. Everyone's okay. Everything today went amazing. But I think there's one more thing that could make it better. Would you dance with me?
Absolutely, I will.
And then Flattery, you dance with each other underneath the glittering beholder ball light. And Flattery comes over and joins the two of you, and you dance together. And the camera pulls out across the beautifully lit night over Waterdeep. We hover briefly over Yisha as they they curl up with a good book in a soft armchair. And a disembodied voice begins to say, "It's easy to know when an adventure ends. You find the loot, save the royal person, defeat the dragon, bards write ballads to your name, and you can rest your hard-earned laurels for a generation or two. Maybe it's rare we get any ballads here at Waterdeep General Hospital. Hell, it's amazing when we get free donuts or maybe a falafel wrap. But when you're a cleric here, every day does feel like an adventure. And what's better than a dragon's hoard is that look of hope, that second chance, that renewed sense of purpose we give our patients. After all, we're the best goddamn doctors on the material plane. And we're what we make this hospital run. We are Waterdeep General Hospital." And that is the end of Waterdeep Anatomy Season 1!
Yay!
Sorry we're going over, everyone. Got a lot of drama to get through.
Oh, the drama.
So much drama.
So much wiggles.
So much wiggling. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. Let's see. I don't think we're kicking it over to anyone at the moment. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. I have been your dungeon mistress, Michelle Rapp. Thank you so much to Girls Run These Worlds for hosting this incredible 3-part journey. It was a real pleasure bringing it to all of you. And maybe we'll come back again. We'll see. You can find me, Michelle Rapp, on Twitter at KilnFiendPotter, where I talk about D&D and magic and many other nerdy things. You can also find me on Instagram at KilnFiendPottery, where you can see all my ceramics works, which is fun and oftentimes D&D or magic themed. With that, let's go with Natalie. Where can we find you? What's up?
Hi, everyone. I'm a professional game master with Turn Person Games. If you want to book with us, see all the streams we've done, purchase my game Sapphic Space Pirates, you can head over to Turn Person Games. Also, please feel free to reach out if you're looking for tabletop content for your channel. I will run games for your Twitch channels. My schedule is freeing up, so please let me know.
Amazing. Samara, where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Samara. you can find me at Twitter at the Singing Sam. You can find me most Tuesdays, not this coming Tuesday, but most Tuesdays on Twitch, playing another 5e game at Another Bad Side Quest. That's Tuesdays Pacific Standard Time at 6:30, or Wednesdays with I was not prepared to go next. At what are they called? The Unlucky Rollers podcast. Wednesdays Pacific Standard Time at 5:30.
Wonderful. Okay. Next is Minnie. Where can we find you?
Hey, everybody. I have been Minnie, and you guys can find me at the Stalwart Ursa on Twitter and Instagram. I'm usually screaming about various geek / of life things, Magic the Gathering as well. And now that we're getting into the creepy season, I'm doing a lot of like horror coverage discussion of how weird movies were from like the 50s and 60s. And if you guys want to see me do more TTRPG stuff, speaking of horror, I am part of Camp Carnage that's happening every other Thursday. So it is happening this upcoming Thursday over on Friends Who Roll Dice. So check that out. I'm probably going to die.
Amazing. Next is Shears. Where are you up to?
Oh shit, I'm next. Hello everyone. My name is Bloodthread Shears, Shears for short. You can find me on Twitter at pinupac87. You can find me on Twitch as Bloodthread Shears, all one word. And for photography stuff, I am Different Drum Photography. I'm available in the tri-state area, specifically in downstate New York and on Long Island. I also talk about medical billing stuff because that's what I do for a job. I also am working on a recreation of the Sophie dress from Howl's Moving Castle, currently on my mannequin right over there. And I also am planning some future sewing projects, particularly a Hades-inspired project as a Dusa varsity jacket, because #Dusa Squad.
Absolutely. Last but not least, Jay. How's it going?
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jay. I use they, them, and tonight and the previous nights I have played Dr. Zenith Parr. While I am here, I would love to give a huge shout out to BIPOC Vamp Day, which is happening this weekend. If you are unaware, the #BIPOC Vamp Day was an event that started last year, and we are here back for our second year. Across this weekend, we are raising money for the Sickle Cell Disease Association of America, which helps raise money to treat this disease, which disproportionately affects people of color. There are lots of events happening. This event was created by Black Betty Cosplay on Twitter, and so we're doing this fundraiser on Tiltify. There are lots of really cool prizes that will be raffled off for people who donate. If you check out, I think the Twitter handle is actually @Betty_cosplay on Twitter. All the information is there, but there's lots of like streaming events and like other really cool things happening on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Something that I am doing, I'm actually the creative director for the charity anthology zine that will be featuring BIPOC vampires. This will be a collection of comics, short stories, poems, illustrations, etc. We are still taking submissions for already completed works if you would like to submit something. Games, I think we're taking games too. Like it's pretty much anything. And then this zine will be going to crowdfund, and all of that money will be donated to this charity. The last thing I want to shout out regarding BIPOC Vamp Day is that on Sunday, which is tomorrow, at a time that I'm going to tell you in 1 second, I believe at 4 p.m. over on Utopia TV, there is going to be a Vampire the Masquerade one-shot for this event, which I will be playing a Toreador, and I'm very excited for that.
This tracks.
So yeah, I know. Tune in tomorrow for that. And that's it for that. It's a really, really cool event, and we would love to meet or even beat last year's fundraising goal, which I believe was $2,800. So
Ooh.
if there's anything you can do to help us spread the word, anything, we would really, really appreciate that to help raise money for this incredible cause. As for me, I'm a professional illustrator and art director, working full time in tabletop. I'm a voice actor, sensitivity reader, and cultural consultant, TTRPG content creator, and actual play stream performer. The best place to follow me is just on my Twitter at NalaWoo, where I will post all my projects and all of that stuff. Also, if you like TikToks, I have been making the TikToks for this character and a bunch of my other characters. So that's at Nala Draws. But thank you so much. This was so much fun. And yay, BIPOC
Yay.
vampires.
Yes, BIPOC vampires. Well, thank you again for hanging out, for having fun as we go through this fun adventure. And stay tuned. We are going to be rating. Let me just double check here. We're going to be rating Fleetwood Flack. So stay tuned as the fun tonight is not going to end. So with that, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful evening and stay safe. Get vaccinated. Yeah, do all the things that this cast would want you to do as clerics. So do that. Don't buy essential oils for medical reasons. With that, we'll see you later and take care. Bye, everyone.
Fuck Elma, MLMs.
Yes, fuck MLMs.